I see a lot of magicians that, and I'm not talking shit on magicians, but
No,
I see a lot of
please do.
magicians that that look like they've never touched a deck of cards before, and they've been doing this for 50 years. And it's like, what are you doing?
So, Samuel, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Fuck
How are
yeah,
you?
man. It's been a while. It's been a long time.
It has.
Now, let me start off with a question for you.
Sure.
How do you define yourself? Because so for people that don't know, people think magic is magic and anything to do with cards is magic and all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Around the time when I started, there was a kind of a movement. I don't even know the history, to be honest, but similar to like around the time I started, there was a movement towards cardistry. And then that became so big that there's kids now that don't even do magic, they just do cardistry.
Right.
And so it's always weird because I feel like when I started, everyone that did cardistry also did some magic. And I feel like that might not be the case anymore.
It's not. I have a bunch of friends in the cardistry scene who I can show them magic, and it's great because they know how cards work and they know how to handle cards.
Right.
But you can fool them with like any gimmick deck. They haven't heard of it. You can do invisible deck. They've never seen it or heard of it before. You can do like really simple sleights, and they're like, whoa, that's sick. And then if you try and teach them it, they learn it straight away because they're already so skilled. So it's really cool. And I was thinking about the kind of overlap between cardistry and magic, because like you said, initially it was like really kind of this. It was the same thing. It was like two sides of the same coin, but now it's kind of become two separate things.
So how do you see yourself as a magician? Do you see yourself as a cardist? Do you see yourself as both?
I definitely see myself more as a cardist than a magician, just because of like, I haven't really contributed much to the magic scene, whereas I feel like I'm way more active in the cardistry scene.
Yeah.
But I'm working on trying to change that. I've been learning a bit more magic. I've been talking to more magicians recently.
Oh, really?
I met a bunch of magicians at Cardistry Con, and that got me really inspired to do more magic. So
yeah, cool. Okay. So what is cardistry? Like let's start there, right?
Oh god, that's a hard question. I've been trying to answer this myself for a little while. So cardistry is kind of the art of manipulating cards in interesting ways, I would say.
Yeah.
Or interesting or beautiful ways. So I mean, I'm sure you know a bunch of stuff already. You know the spring, you know the basic like fans. This one, I'll see if I can hit a riffle fan. That's always a good one. Let me try to get another one.
I've done that for so long, and I still just fuck up every time. Like it doesn't even start to come across. Mine just flies out instantly. Sheesh.
Not perfect,
that's
but
nice.
pretty good.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and then we also have cuts. Ooh, let me do it away from the mic so I don't have the
Yeah, you might want to lift it up so you have some hand room. There you go.
There we go. That's way easier.
Ooh.
There we go. It's a nice one by Nikolai.
Nice.
Things like skater cut.
Yeah.
You've seen all the basic stuff.
Yeah,
before,
yeah. So the way I've like explained it to people that don't really know anything about cards, I sort of go like the very, very base root of it, which is like it's juggling with cards. And like juggling obviously usually implies throwing, but then contact juggling is considered juggling.
Right.
And so to me, it's like movement with an object in some way.
Yes.
And you know, if it's skilled and you're trying to manipulate multiple objects, then in my head, it kind of classifies under juggling.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because there's it's almost like a gradient between magic and juggling, and then cardistry's in the middle.
Yeah.
Or you look at it of like a gradient of like just magic to cardistry, because there's stuff that's halfway in between.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you saw my video that I did with anyone, but there's a cut in there where I do like a torn and restored of a card in the middle of a packet
shit.
cut.
No, I didn't see
like,
that.
You could say that that's a magic trick. You could say that that's
cardistry.
Ace Productions have been making a huge splash in cardistry recently. I mean, for the past like couple years, but cardists love them because it gives cardistry kind of a purpose. It's like, oh, I've produced the aces, I've produced the kings or whatever, but it's still like a flashy, flourishy move.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so when I started magic and cardistry at the same time. It was from Dan and Dave, the trilogy.
Right.
Okay, so a lot of their stuff is Ace Productions. They used to do a lot of that stuff. What else do I remember? There's the Molecule. See if I can.
Yeah.
No, goddamn. I don't even do it with that turn anymore. So I usually do it like with the way I do it nowadays. I do this and then a one-handed cut there.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to do it at a table, eh? What else? Then I had this version of the skater cut, which I like it because it's kind of a comfy cut.
Yeah.
I just find it like satisfying to do. Then I used to come up with a lot of stuff that like I think is pretty average, but there's one. Oh, there we go. Jesus Christ. And then I think I remember the furthest I got, the hardest cut, and let's see if I can do this. I might have to do it standing. The hardest cut I ever made that I kind of got down at one point. Okay, wait, let me get it down. I'll do it as many times as it takes. All right, here we go. So we go across there, there, fuck. Oh, God damn it. Anyway.
Cardistry's hard, dude.
100%. Especially when you haven't done it in forever. But anyway, the point is that like to me, that's how I got into magic, right? And Dan and Dave at the time, I don't know, like it's probably not the best place to start in magic if you're just thinking magic. But it gave me a foundation of like some cardistry. Like, yeah, I'm not competitive or whatever. And I'm probably not going to go down as a cardist if I put like a fucking video out. But it's enough to throw in a fucking color change video and people are like, whoa, what the fuck was that? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, to be honest, I've retained a lot of the stuff that looks flashy. So like, you know, like this sort of like that to a layman looks really interesting because there's so much going on. Whereas maybe like a multi-packet cut might look cool, but it's probably like there's a lot of things that don't seem as hard as they are.
Yes.
Right. And so I try to maximize the impression that I can have. So Under Pressure, for example, is a killer every time, and it's so easy to do. Well, not easy, but you know, once you've learned it, it's pretty simple. Yeah.
I think cardists and magicians underestimate how hard good cardistry actually is. Any packet cut, if you can do any packet cut, you are better than like 99.9% of card handlers.
Right.
Because like most, if you look at most magicians, their card handling, they know techniques and they know they have the skills needed to do the tricks they do, and that's great. But their overall like comfort and familiarity with a deck of cards and being able to handle it with any sort of kind of grace is kind of rare. I see a lot of magicians that, and I'm not talking shit on magicians, but I see a lot of magicians that that look like they've never touched a deck of cards before, and they've been doing this for 50 years. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, learn one cut. Alex Hansford talks a lot about this, how important learning cardistry is for magic, because it makes you appreciate difficulty of things, and also it just makes you better at handling cards. So any magicians, learn some cardistry.
I think there's some styles of magic that rely on that sloppiness. You know, like a perfect example is Leonard Green.
Leonard Green, right? Dani Daortiz.
Yeah, but you almost have to be good enough to handle cards well.
Yes. To
then have the artistic like decision of I'm going to be shit at this to 100%. Make it seem good.
So I was watching some Tom Molliker. Do you know Tom Molliker? Yeah, of course.
Crazy fucking cigarette trick.
Right, but he's also, I don't know if you've seen his card stuff as well, but he's also like insanely good at cards. And I know a lot of magicians do this, and a lot of magicians are great at it, but I just wanted to point out, David Williamson also does this really well, but they have this really chaotic messiness when they're doing the trick, and then when it comes to the revelation or the final step, they're very, and here are your 4 cards, with very kind of, it's very intentful.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool.
The grace and well, that's the thing is that when you, like, for example, I think, I don't even know where I learned this specifically, but I think it was like a Dani Daortiz idea of like, if you do a false shuffle and then you're like, right? Like that is, even if it was executed properly, you're saying that I care about this deck a lot by my own body language. Yeah. Whereas if I just do a cut like this, and I just throw the deck down, and now I'm just talking to you.
That's way more convincing than
you don't even think about it. Exactly. Yeah. So there's a time and a place, but at the same time, I feel like if I'm getting paid, I mean, as a magician, right? I do like corporate weddings, whatever.
Yeah.
If I'm getting paid however much of my fucking price is to rock up and do the same shit that everyone else can do at the wedding, I just feel like, why am I here, right? So, you know, like the ability to show something interesting, something above the normal, to me is like really important, you know? Oh,
for sure.
There we go. Let me get that right there.
And you don't have to bust it out every time you do something.
Yeah.
It's just when necessary or when it would help the effect.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to be able to do that and have that skill. And also to be able to show that you're, what's the word? Like reliable.
Mm-hmm.
Like if someone's looking at you and you're like, yeah, I'm a magician. Like, do you want to hire me? And you're kind of going like this and, you know, that's not really going to convince them.
Yeah.
Unless you then do a crazy trick following that.
I'll tell you what, cardistry helped me a lot more when I was younger, because if you're 13 and you go, hey, I'm a magician, let me show you something, right? Like they're going to be like, how good can this guy be?
Yeah.
And then you start doing some fucking crazy shit and they're like, oh my God, okay, let's see this. Whereas now I feel like I get away with going, like I'm already like dressed better than everyone there.
Right.
Right. I rock up and I just interrupt the conversation at the table. And I don't say anything. I just have cards in my hands and I go like this. I command more respect now than I used to, right? So I don't feel like I always have to prove myself by doing a spring or something.
Right.
But in cases where I feel like I need that, or like they're not
taking you seriously.
Right. Let's cut the shit straight away.
Yeah.
All right, now pick a card, and now people are actually looking at me.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And then like in club environments where it's like people drunk and whatever, that's why I used to carry that ball with me. Because I used to be like cards are great, all the stuff, but you just pull out a crystal ball and just stand with it, and everyone's like, what the fuck is this? They turn at you, and then you start doing this.
Why's he got an orb?
Right.
Why's he got an orb in the club?
And then you just, like, you're standing there with it, and everyone's like, you're just waiting for everyone to look at you, and then you start doing this.
Yeah.
Right? And then all of a sudden now people are like actually watching, and then now you're in an act. Like at this point, you're already there, you know?
That's
and
sick.
so, and then I'll do like the Omni deck off that.
Perfect.
Yeah, so you definitely need that sort of like intro. But let me ask you this, like where do you feel like, because there was always this big debate where like whether it detracts from the magic or it makes it more magical. And there is that concept of like, if I can do all this crazy shit, right? If I can, you know, do this, manipulate cards, whatever, then like finding a card in theory would be easier than if, right? Like if I'm showing off all this skill and then I find a card, it's like, okay, well, clearly he's really good. But if I just keep it very simple and then I find a card without seemingly manipulating the deck very much, the impossibility factor, some would argue, that goes up.
Yeah.
So where's the balance? Where do you think the balance is?
So, I mean, there are I would say there's a bunch of different ways around that problem of showing enough skill that you are confident, but not showing too much where it makes it like the impossible seem easy for you, because you still want to make it look difficult if that's your persona. I mean, one way is to only do as much cardistry as you need to present yourself, and then don't go above that. So you can do like a nice pressure fan, or maybe some like one-handed cuts to show that you know familiar with the deck, but you're not going to do springs and like crazy, you know, 6-packet two-handed cuts and like aerial stuff.
The whole Jackson 5 sequence.
Yeah, you don't have to do the whole Jackson 5 with the Leno cut and everything. The other way is to just lean fully into that. You can do as much stuff as you want, and then you just make sure that your magic is strong enough that they say, okay, well, even if he could find any card, like even if he could know every position of every card in the deck at any time, that doesn't explain how my card just appeared in the box.
Yeah.
Or how he didn't touch the cards the whole time. If you're doing stack stuff, or if you're doing it, you know. So there are ways of making the fact that you know how to handle cards still not relevant to the method, even though it might be.
Right.
Make it seem like it's not relevant, because even if he could do whatever he wanted with the cards, it's still impossible for, you know, this card to change into this one. Or
Yeah.
So.
See, my approach to it is if I had the idea, like obviously if I'm doing walk around, I just react to the environment. I don't fuck around with like trying to set things up like, you know, from A to B to Z to C to D. I'm just going to go straight for whatever's happening. If a drunk guy comes in, I might change my trick halfway through the trick. I don't like it. I have no, you know, but in an ideal world, if I was going to present it in terms of impossibility and right, I would start off with a magical opener with no ability, no shown ability with cardistry. Do the trick, reveal, get the big bang, because clearly like people don't know how good you are, right? Then I would show the cardistry part and go deep into like my ability to manipulate, then do a trick with that. So now the impossibility is slightly coming down because of like how good my perception, the perception is of how good I am. And then you kill them again with like in their hands, or with something happening where you have no control. And so
or you switch from cards to a different object, or
right. But like building that like initial drama, like holy shit, how was that done? To like a slight diffusion of tension, and then a reintegrating of the tension. You know,
that's cool.
That's my like idea of it, but I've not followed that. Like if I need to spring and if I need to show off, I will, like, because at the end of the day, that's why I put in the hours to get that fucking validation, baby.
And also it's hard because if you're practicing springs all the time, and if I'm doing stuff, I'll just like casually be doing swing cuts and like doing like this stuff.
Yeah.
And if someone sees that, they're like, holy shit, what is that? And I'm just like, oh, I'm just like fiddling, and this isn't even like me doing anything.
That actually,
I notice cardists will like often do like these like aerial swing cuts, which is like, for me, it's just like a comfy move. It's just like a fidget move. But for a layman, that's like a trick almost.
Right.
That's like a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually had to like train myself not to do cardistry while I'm like talking through an effect. Because I realized I would just start like doing this shit. Sometimes I'd be like stacked or set up in some way, and I'd like just fucking, I'm like, God damn it. Yeah.
I'll do something else.
Now I got to do a fucking pass and whatever. Like, you know, I'll just make things hard for myself. So the other thing is I used to like, because I did impromptu tricks, which means like with a shuffled deck for so long, then I tried to do like things that require setup, and I would just like forget, you know? Yeah. All right. So let me ask you this. Where has cardistry gone since I've left? I wouldn't even say I've left. It's just that like I did cardistry for like a couple of years back in the Dan and Dave era.
Yeah.
I came in kind of late to that era, but still. And then like I did like follow, like I learned this cut from Andre Jick, if I can still do it. See, so boom, that display.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, some shit like that. I can't remember the closer. But so like I did learn a couple things from other people and whatnot, but in reality, like, it was just Dan and Dave shit, and I didn't learn all of it. And then I've just come up with my own like random cool stuff. And recently I've tried learning this, and I'm still really crap at it.
Oh, judo?
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, there it is.
Nice. That's a great
all right.
one.
So
that's a great magician cardistry move, because it's false.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. That's true.
And there's a lot of movement for like not a lot of effort. It's great.
Yeah. I had to learn it because I do grappling. So I'm like, you know, if there's a cut that's called judo something, I can't not learn it.
Right.
My only pet peeve is called a flip, and no judo throw is called a flip, but that's besides the point. And if I were to put that into a judo, like if that was a judo move, most likely, to me, it looks like a standing seonage, where you just like load them on your hip and just fucking boom. That's so clean when you do it. I can't do it seated. Like when it's seated, the angle is just so weird. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah. So this, and I'll make a point of this because this is super important for magicians and cardists in general, and anyone that's like trying to learn stuff. I think the most important grip in cardistry these days, modern, is this here. Cardists call this kind of the pocket, or like a low grip.
Is this like the L cut? Is that what you do for the L cut?
No, this is used in like a lot of different things, and being able to get into this and hold this confidently is like really important. So like for judo flip, when this comes over, this is held there, and because of that, you have like so much movement of like where you can go with this.
Yeah,
hand.
Okay.
There's like a bunch of other cuts that use this, like Waves by Tobias. I'm not doing this justice.
He says it as he does it perfectly. Yeah.
So, like almost every one-handed cut these days, that comes out uses this grip in one way or another.
Ah, okay. Well, that was what I was going to say, right? So what like, if you could talk about the fundamentals of cardistry, what am I missing?
Yeah. Right? So, well, it's interesting because packet cuts are in a kind of a weird place where everyone's doing packet cuts, and they're kind of very hard to get into now, I think. Maybe get into is the wrong word. People are making packet cuts that are more and more complex and have more and more moving parts than they ever did. So like someone, Leo, I don't know if you know Leo Flores, he put out a video very recently where like with a bunch of packet cuts and a bunch of great moves, like half the packet cuts in that video are like 6 packets, which is like a lot.
Jesus.
And the rest are 5. And there's like a few like 3 and 4 packets, but most of them are a lot. And like previously making a 5 packet cut was like a thing. It's like, whoa, nice job, you made a 5 packet cut.
Right.
That's not easy.
Yeah.
And now like every kid is putting out like 5 packet, 6 packet, 7 packet cuts sometimes, which is insane. So the skill ceiling has really gone up. In terms of like other stuff, I think fans, people don't really do fans that much.
Okay.
Aerials are kind of, sometimes people do aerials.
I feel like they peaked with that behind the head thing.
They did peak with the behind the back flicker shot for sure.
Yeah, which I still haven't mastered. I know how to do the like the shot itself ish, but I haven't got the angle yet. Oh, yeah.
With a shot. Yeah, let's get it.
There it is. Hey, what? You looked like you caught it.
Okay. Well,
right. That hit your headphones. That hit your headphones.
Okay. Let me actually do it because I can hit it.
Nice.
Maybe I can't.
There it is.
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough. That's a weird one because like I hate practicing.
It's really hard.
I feel like if I put in, like a week, I'd be able to like start getting it pretty consistent. But practicing it is so annoying because you're just constantly picking up cards.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, it's a hard one. I think the other thing that's happened probably since you left is that there's this been really big boom of like concept moves and like more freeform, less freeform. There's no real word for them, but like concept is like the best way of putting it.
Right.
So like the Noel Heath style of kind of, they're not a cut, they're not a fan, they're just like a thing that you can do and it looks cool.
Okay.
Isolations kind of fall into that.
Okay.
It's like a very weird niche thing and they're all kind of slightly different.
I feel like isolations, the first time I saw them properly was like Zach Mueller.
They honestly, I think no one's done isolations better since Zach's like frozen cards, was it?
Yeah. I don't remember the names, but I remember seeing his videos like back when he was still like doing that Theory 11 show.
Yeah.
That was at the time where like was peak obsession for me. I would watch every one that came out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Zach's ISOs are still the best. No one really does ISOs. I think there's still some ISO stuff that people could be doing. But
I've been trying to learn them because I want to do like contact in one hand and the Omni ISO in the other and do them simultaneous. But I was trying last night and I was failing really hard. It's so hard to like do like different directions while you're isolating 2 objects because you have to focus on the visual cues to isolate each corner or each, like if I'm looking at the ball to isolate it, I'm looking at the outline of the ball. Yeah, right. And so if I'm doing 2 objects and they're isolating different points, that's tricky. I have to somehow like balance my vision. It's really strange. So I haven't figured that out yet, but I will at some point. Yep. And I want to do like a routine where I vanish. So I have the deck and I have this and I like turn it invisible. Cool. And then somehow start like isolating both. But I haven't figured that out yet.
Have you seen, there's a routine, I can send you it after this, we'll show you after this, but there's a routine of a guy with some of these acrylic contact juggling balls where he swaps them between contact juggling balls and bubbles. Ooh. So he like blows a bubble and then he like reaches up and grabs it and it's suddenly a contact juggling ball and he does like a sequence that's cool. And then like and it's back into a bubble and then he like pops it. It's crazy, crazy routine.
Yeah,
Japanese guy. I can't remember his name. Okay, I'll show you after this.
It reminds me of the Losander bubble zombie.
I don't know if I've seen
You
it.
haven't seen that? Oh man, he did it live when he came for the lecture, and it's insane. Like, so I'll describe it briefly because me and Dev were talking about this and like losing our minds discussing it. But basically, like he blows a bubble, and then the bubble starts floating, and it's like kind of like this big, right? And it floats away, and then he goes like this, and it starts coming towards him. And I seeing this live, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like,
that's insane.
How is that even possible? Right? And then he kind of just floats it. And then he puts, you've seen like zombie routines before.
Yeah.
So he puts like the cloth over the bubble, and it like makes the ball shape underneath the cloth. And then he like starts floating it for a bit, and then it vanishes. And like he pops it. So it like, you know,
That's ridiculous.
And I've just like, and like obviously the bubble zombie is cool in general, like just having having a bubble covering it with a cloth. Now you're doing a zombie routine. But the fact that he was controlling the bubble before the cloth, and then he does it, and it's still, like it's just like it was literally like
that's insane.
the most magical part. Now the annoying thing is all the videos I found online don't have the initial part where he controls the bubble.
Maybe he's done that on purpose. He's like,
I don't know,
this is one of those like little touches that.
Yeah, but I honestly don't think you could I wouldn't have figured it out. Unless
I have no idea how it would work.
I would not have figured it out. Like, even though it's stuff that we've done, like we've used before.
Yeah.
It's just such a unique way of doing it. But yeah. So all right. So what do you? So what? Okay. So you're saying,
to answer your question properly, cardistry right now is pretty sick, and there's a lot of cool stuff, and people are getting really good at it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to keep up. It's just kind of grown in like every direction.
So my dream of becoming cardistry world champion is getting further and further away, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. I mean, same.
Bro, I'm gonna fucking just rock up to the next world champs with just like a Charlier, like that, and then I'll just be like,
not gonna get far if you're doing it like that. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna at least second place from last. No, I think I remember watching the very first world championship that they. Like, I don't know who the fuck.
WKC with Jaspis and Andrew and who else was it?
How many how many of them have there been since? Like, is that like okay, it's just one time.
It was just that was just the one, and then I think there might have been two.
Yeah,
I think there was one. The one you've probably seen is the second one, I think.
Okay,
if I'm remembering correctly. There's been a bunch of other competitions since. There's been like the Cardistry Con championship, which is no longer running. There's been the Fontaine competition that he does. There was another one this year for Card Club, which was like more of like a film festival where you just submit a video and then they just screen a bunch of them and then they vote on the winner.
That's cool.
Which is a really cool format.
I kind of like I almost like cardistry tournament competitions more than Magic competitions.
I think. Like, do I want to go on the record saying this? I think art competitions in general are strange and a little bit flawed because you're ranking for cardistry competitions.
Yeah.
They are judging the creativity of the competitors over the skill.
Right.
So, which is weird because skill is something you can almost objectively judge and creativity is so subjective.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's very weird. It's a weird situation. I think I like the cardistry, the card club format where it was like the film festival because then it's more of like we understand that this is just kind of like who made the best video,
right? And
then we can all pick our favorite video, and that's like easy to do. But to look at someone and go like, okay, his packet card is better than his fan and his
the reason why I said that is because to me, cardistry tournaments remind me of like skateboarding,
right?
You know what I mean? And it's like almost like X Games. People vote whatever, and it's like some like one might be harder, but one has more stees,
right? But the difference is that for that kind of thing, it's live, and it's what trick can you hit right now?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And that doesn't exist for cardistry.
Yeah,
like a lot of cardists. There are a few cardists that are really consistent.
Yeah,
like really consistent. Like any of their moves they can hit.
Who was it? It was a guy. I remember there was like this guy that put up a cardistry project on maybe Theory 11, and he when he submitted the project to them, he like did a one take of every cut,
Yeah, it's
like
sick.
one together. I can't remember who it was, one of the guys, but
No
yeah,
idea.
yeah. Sorry, just to
But yeah, no, that's sick. So I've recently, excuse me,
get that H2O in you.
Recently with Cardistry, I've been trying to find stuff that's more consistent because I got sick of going to Cardistry Con and people filming me and then having to sit there for like 20 minutes trying to get a decent take.
Yeah.
So like I made this cut. Let's see if I can do it.
Woo.
Not a great one, but these are brand new cards. So
Yeah,
it's,
yeah,
like,
I feel
tricky.
you.
But you get the idea. So that one I like consciously made decisions in to make it more consistent. So I had a different closer, could barely do it, scrapped it, make a new one that's easier.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that's kind of coming back. I've seen a few other people do the same thing. And then I've seen other people go the opposite direction. So it's like, whoa, this is crazy. This looks cool, but it's crazy hard. I'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
And I'll just hope I can get the take
But
in
even
one video.
even Dan and Dave, like in their like jam footage,
They are very consistent.
no, but even them, like I've seen videos of them like trying to hit Pandora,
Right.
and it'll take them a few.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And actually, it's only
they're
Dave
all
that
hard
does
moves.
Pandora, right? Or Dan? Or which one?
I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, but like they have their own things. Like I'm pretty sure one of them doesn't do the Jackson 5.
Yeah.
And the other one doesn't do Pandora or some
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, which is also funny because it's like, I remember watching Now You See Me.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh, that's Dan Dave right there. Oh, those hands, yes. Like I just
Yeah.
instantly knew from the moves, you know?
Let me see if there's a cool move that's like really consistent, or like surprisingly consistent.
Okay.
And I want to see if I can hit this. Hang on, let me just.
Woo.
Oh,
Hey.
Right. so
Is that on camera? Yeah, nice.
good. I'll do another one just in case.
Hey,
Just to show how consistent
that's
it is.
really cool.
But yeah, I think moves like that are really underrated in cardistry, where like a lot of people are trying to make the newest, most kind of intricate thing
Mhm.
that's like creatively new, but is almost impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a video. I don't know if you've seen it. I put it out. It screened at Cardistry Con, and I
Okay.
had a move where it's basically the same as like this thing,
Yeah.
but the card goes straight up, and then when I spring, it like bounces on the top of the spring, and then I catch it. Insanely difficult move, well, like almost impossible.
Yeah.
And I'd love to be able to do that consistently, and
Yeah.
maybe I'll try and see if I can find something that makes it easier. But everyone's trying to find those moves, and there are a lot of stuff that's still consistent.
Yeah.
That I think can be found, which I think would be
Well, this was what my sort of thing was when I hung out with Shin Lim. I like showed him a thing and it worked first take, first
Nice.
time, not first take. He wasn't filming. First time, he's like, "Oh shit, let me see that again," and he like pulls out his camera. I'm like, "Oh god." So now like we're just sitting in fucking Zara or some shit,
yeah.
like 30 times, just dropping cards, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Next," right? So I have like a consistent version, which my hands, I fucking wax my hair, and now my hands are all fucked. I might have to wash my hands. But so this is the consistent version,
Nice.
right? So that's that one. Yep, cool. And this is the inconsistent version. Let's see if I can get it.
Sick.
There we go.
I think it's very funny. I think we talked about that move or something similar to it.
Actually, now that I think about it, you told me to throw it.
Yeah.
You told me like, what
Yeah.
if you threw it in a way that doesn't? Yeah, that's actually your idea. I just realized. So thank you for that. I totally forgot that you told me about that. Yeah. So, but that one was like it was at a point where like I had just got it like it just started working for me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I've done much more work on it since, and it's still not very consistent. So at that point it was fucked.
Yeah.
Like it was just like,
Yeah. I remember when you first showed me it, you were like, yeah, I'll maybe make this work sometime.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. So if I were to, is there still that distinction in cardistry of like comfy cuts and like, like, cause I remember for a while, at least for me, I had this thing where it's like something could be cool, but it was too like,
yeah.
I don't know, it was too robotic or something, and it just didn't, like, you know what I mean? Like if it was too much movement, too much this, too much that, I wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
I would have preferred things that I'd just feel right to do, which to me, this one just
Yeah.
like it just closes so comfortably. And like, yeah, I've seen that term before, the comfy cut thing. Is that still a thing?
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah.
Kind of goes back to what I was saying with like consistency, where anything that you can do anything that you can do consistently
Yep.
will be comfy to you most of the time, right? Because if it's not comfy, then it's going to be hard to make it consistent because you won't have that like intuitive knowledge. That being said, there are a lot of moves that feel really weird to do, and I wouldn't say are comfy, but are still doable, and they become comfy over time.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
This cut is, I have the mic again. So, this cut, if I can do it, is like notoriously difficult. I mean, now probably not today's standards, it's not that difficult, but like this was probably, when did this come out? 2013, 2014, around that time. You got the first take, so we'll use that one. But that cut like is kind of comfy nowadays by today's standards, because now people are doing all this stuff where they have packets like this, or they have like packets gripped between like these fingers, and it's like insane.
Just mad stretch.
Mad like finger breaking stuff, and but there are definitely still a lot of people that only do kind of comfy moves, only do these like kind of nice flowy stuff.
There's one dude I follow on Insta, and I'm pretty sure like all he does is like these like flowy those things.
Is it Yang?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And I'm just
Yang's
like,
great.
Jesus Christ, it looks so nice. Yeah. So, okay. So if I were to get back into it, what would you recommend that I learn? To build a base, right? Like what's my one-handed cut stuff is really trash. I can't even do I know you tried to teach me a revolution cut one time and I can kind of get it, but yeah, it's fucking rough. It's rough out here in these streets.
It is rough. So I was talking to Morris, actually. Do you remember Morris?
Yeah, of course. Cool. Yeah, he's coming on next week.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yep.
So I was talking to him a couple of weeks ago, and he said that he wanted to do the same thing. He was like, I want to get into more cardistry stuff. I want to like get better at cardistry in general. What should I learn? And it's weird because a lot of people, and I was talking to some people at Cardistry Con about this as well, but a lot of people aren't making tutorials really these days, because all the basics have already got tutorials. I say all the basics. I mean, all the basics from 10 years ago have already got tutorials. And then all the new stuff everyone's making is hard. So why would you teach hard stuff to beginners?
Yeah, exactly.
And you wouldn't teach hard stuff to people that are already kind of expert level, because if they wanted to, they would learn it.
Yeah,
just off the video. They don't need a tutorial for it, right? So it's actually kind of a tricky question. So I sent him Lotus in Hand on YouTube. Has a bunch of has like a beginner like boot camp series, which is really good, and they teach like all the basic, well, not all, but a lot of the basic one-handed cuts, fans, like really kind of foundational stuff. Dealer's Grip also on YouTube has a bunch of really good tutorials for like some of the modern one-handed cuts. And then the rest, you kind of have to just kind of look at what people are doing and find moves you like. I mean, there's so many things out there nowadays that you can learn that it's impossible to like make tutorials for everything. You kind of just have to go, I want to learn that, and then watch how people do it and ask people for help if you're struggling with it.
That's interesting, because like the other thing that I'm like decent at, right, is grappling. And even in that, right, like once you get to a certain okay, so when you're a beginner, if you watch YouTube videos, like it's not helpful. Yeah. But you do not have the context to really understand what the hell they're going on about.
Right.
And they might tell you like, oh, never cross your feet here. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, like in that specific spot he's talking about. Yes. But if you're like slightly above the hip in that angle, like you can cross your feet. So there's like all these nuances that like you will just never pick up just from watching stuff. But then you get to a certain level where like listening to someone go step by step isn't really that useful anymore, because now it's like I don't need the basics of how to move.
You already know the steps. What you need is like the real detailed tips.
Yeah.
You want to know, what do I do to make this go from not being able to do it correctly to being able to hit this
exactly.
every time.
And in grappling, a lot of that is timing. So once you get to a certain level, like you're probably better off watching like actual matches.
Right.
Because it's like, oh, I can see when he used that, when he went for this, when he went for that. So it's probably the same thing here. It's like, it's almost better to watch the actual cut happening and then be like, oh, he's using this grip and that grip and he's transitioning from a fucking thing to a pocket or whatever the fuck you called it. And yeah, so you know what I mean? It's interesting, like that similarity between getting good at certain things and how like learning at that level is kind of the same in all aspects. I find that fascinating.
Super interesting.
Yeah. So let me think this through. I was gonna do some magic for you, but I don't know what the hell. I don't have anything that like is really that impressive at the moment that would impress you. So I'm trying to think. I did have this, and you know who this is by. It's the four of diamonds. You know Biz?
Of course.
Yeah. I'm sure you've seen this, right?
Yes.
And that's the 4.
Good old pop fly. Love
Yeah,
that.
nice. Yeah. I knew you'd know the move. Fuck's sake.
I probably taught it to you.
I think I actually bought it. I bought his thing.
That is a great move.
You taught me this one, though. I don't know if the camera's going to...
Oh, yeah, nice.
That's
you got
the
that
one.
down.
Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
That's a great move. Let me, hang on, please.
While you do that, I'm gonna
brought new decks with me for some reason.
You can use my old deck if you want.
Great.
Yeah.
I've been doing. You probably seen me do it, and magicians tend to love this. I've been doing this like muscle pass type thing.
Dude,
you can do it like vertically.
Oh
as well.
no!
So this is a Cardistry move. This is Elliot Slevin, who's a New Zealand guy. His lengthways deck flip, which I'm not hitting.
Fucking hell!
Something like this.
Can you catch it upside down? Like, is that what you? Oh, dude, you could legit do the muscle pass like premise.
Like that. We could make it like drop really fast.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, so that's a fun one. It also kind of works with single cards, which is cool. And what's interesting is if you have a single like this, because it's lighter, you can make it jump way further, way quicker. Something like that.
Very nice. That's fucking sick. I love that, dude. Have you ever done that? Like, you know, the coin muscle pass premise, which is like, it falls down and it falls up. Have you ever done it with the cards?
I mean, you can kind of do it. Again, it's like
it won't be as
hard.
strong of an effect because it doesn't go quite as far. But I feel like that's a like equally magical thing that I've Yeah.
It's a tough move, and to get it like going straight up and have it perfectly land is
you did do it a couple times where I think would have looked like dope. Yeah, that's fucking sick.
But the hand to hand is definitely the coolest one, I think.
Yeah,
and I've been trying to get. I'm not that great in my left hand yet, but I'm trying to get like more consistent at it.
Yeah, I was trying to learn that old school one for a while. You know, the classic one where
the
double flip. Yeah, but my left hand's still not where it should be. It still flips weird. But yeah, dude, I appreciate. Thanks for the fucking cards, man.
Oh, of course.
These are fucking. I'm gonna open one on cam.
Sure.
These are the Chris Ramseys. Has he how many iterations has he made of these cards at this point?
I have no idea. I think those are the second or third ones.
Oh yeah. Do you like them?
Yeah, they're fine. I haven't used them.
Sheesh.
I do like foil on cards.
Yeah, that is nice, eh?
So baller.
Yeah, and even the side as well. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
That looks dope. I really like kind of like repeatable patterns like this, like the way they did White Lions as well.
Yeah.
With that like nice repeatable. Yeah, that's cool, man. They change. Oh, there's a blank. Nice. If I could do a reverse fan, I would do that, but I can't. Did they do anything with the court cards? Oh no, just the same.
Pretty standard.
Nice. Is it just me or did it come in stack?
Yeah, it looks stacked to me.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't actually know any stacks, so for me
Me
it's
neither.
useless.
I've been meaning to. I've been talking to Franco Pascali a bunch.
Oh,
He's
yeah?
like, dude, you got to learn a stack. There's so much you can do with that. And I'm like, I know, but I can't be bothered. It's
All
so
right.
much work.
Do you want to do a challenge? Should we try to figure
Oh,
out
God.
a way? Because I'm not, if I don't have a reason to do it, I'm not going to do it. And I've been meaning to for ages. All right. So let's do a thing right now. All right.
Oh, God,
The
we're
first
gonna
one to
live
learn a stack. I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm not a betting man, so I mean, like,
neither.
I don't want to lose money on this shit.
Let's just both learn a stack.
All right, let's
just do it.
Stop being bitches.
Yeah, just stop being a bitch and learn a stack.
Oh God. So like, I've talked to Brendan Dooley.
Yeah.
And he's been working on a lot of memory stuff, and he for the last Something Magic. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Yeah, like it's like an open mic sort of stuff with it's like open mic for magic basically, but it's well rehearsed. He did like a bunch of memory work, and it was funny because like my friend, he's a programmer, coder, or whatever, and like has a law degree at the same time, and he was like, oh yeah, like that wasn't like he was like, oh yeah, you know, when he did that part, I was like, oh, that's possible, and then he did the next part, and I was like, oh okay, I don't know how he does that. But the fact that he was like, oh yeah, it's possible. I'm like, you smart piece of shit. Like for me, I can't remember my own phone number.
Yeah.
6 months after I get a new one, I'm still like, I don't know what my phone number is. So there's no chance I'm going to memorize fucking, like what Brendan did. He like went around the room and he got everyone to pick an object. And then he like, I think it was like, I don't know, 20, 30 objects and people's names. And then he just recited them back.
That's sick.
Like, name item, name item, name item.
That's great.
It was insane. And I was like, that's fucking crazy. Then he did some like, you know, some stack work and stuff. But yeah, my friend was like, oh yeah, that first part was like doable. Like maybe I could do that. And I'm like, you fucking like, there's just no chance for me to do that.
Have you ever done those like those online like memory like test things?
No.
It's like the monkey problem or the monkey test or something.
Oh really?
Where
No.
like it's called that because monkeys are supposedly better at it than people
Oh,
are.
is it the one
it's
where
like the dot and you have to memorize the pattern?
Yeah,
Or like,
but the monkeys that do that they're fucking insane though. Like,
oh yeah,
like,
they're cracked at it.
it just
But,
fucking like it just flashes on the screen and go brrrr,
yeah.
and then it's done. And
I mean maybe if you like did that for like a year in practice, you could probably do it just as good. But yeah, I've done those and I'm like, my memory's so garbage. So
but that's like short term working memory.
Yeah.
I feel like that is slightly different to like something that you can then access in the next 10 minutes. Like that to me is a way different skill.
Yeah.
You know? Because like I feel, so I have ADHD and I feel like my ability to regurgitate information that's just happened is not too bad. So in school, I would be not paying attention. And then the teacher would be like, Eduard, what's the answer to question 3? You know, and I would just like replay in my head, like what the teacher just said, even though I wasn't paying attention. I was like half listening. So I'd be doing something else, probably playing with cards.
Yeah, same.
And then I would look up and be like, and then I'd have to like replay the last 30 seconds. And then I'll just like straight up say what it was. And then the teacher would be like, oh fuck, like I didn't catch him out, you know? And that would happen all the time. But if you ask me what happened yesterday, that was information that's gone. Like that's not going to be, it's not retained. Yeah. So I struggle with like the longer term aspect of it. And like I got one of those mnemonic apps to try to memorize a stack. And I think I got to like cards number 6 over a couple days. And then I just like didn't practice it. So then I just forgot everything. But like I only learned 6 cards in like 2 days. So
have you tried the method where you kind of attach like a memory or like an image to each card? So like, I mean, I can't think of an example, but like you have to memorize a card, Queen of Hearts, say it's like whatever number, and you go, okay, I'm imagining like a queen at age 36 and like she's got a huge crown on and it's like such a weird image. So you remember, okay, yeah, Queen of Hearts is at 36 or like something like that.
So there's that linking it to like a visual cue. And like you make every aspect of it very preposterous so that it sticks in your head. I've played around with that. I'm still not like, the hard part is remembering the image as well. Even though you can come up with an image for it, It's like actually
It's gotta be memorable enough.
Yeah, actually remembering that. And then there's the other one, which is like the memory palace, where you walk through that like 3D spatial room, house, whatever that you know, and there's things in different places. But I struggle with like, okay, let's say I do that, right? How do I know where number 35 was? Like, I can't find my own fucking socks in the morning, like in my house. Like, how am I going to remember these supposed items that are all over the place? You're like, you know, so yeah, for me, it's like the execution of those things I struggle with. So I'm going to I'll have Brendan on eventually, and he'll probably walk me through step by step how to create a memory palace and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, the memory shit, I like to pretend I have a good memory. And I do all this. I don't pretend. I do all the sleight of hand shit. Like, yeah, I'm memorizing the deck. Meanwhile, you know, I'm just like false shuffling and doing all this other shit. Yeah.
No, memory stuff's cool. There's a lot of really great tricks that I've seen that use mem deck. So it would be nice to know so I can learn them. But.
Yeah. And I'm at a point where like I kind of want to add more variety in my act. So that would be one way, but it would still be using cards. So I'm like, okay, I can put all this energy and learn more card material.
Right.
Or I could learn the chop cup or whatever else, you know? So it's like, okay, let me kind of branch out for a little bit. And then at some point I'll probably learn a mem deck eventually.
Yeah. And that's something that's interesting about Magic that I've seen people talk about as well, is that you can get really far on very little with card Magic and just like, you don't really need to know any sleights if you don't want to.
Yeah.
But learning sleights is fun, and being able to do sleighty stuff feels good, and being able to like kind of earn the response you get. If you go into if you go up on stage and do invisible deck and like what's the one with the short faces where they're all the same card?
Oh, Svengali.
Svengali, thank you. If you just do like gimmick decks and like self-working tricks and you don't even have to think the whole time, power to you, because you are like the smartest magician alive and you're going to make so much money. But like, I couldn't do that because it's not fun, because you're not challenging yourself. You're not earning that, response you get.
There is, there is a challenge of like, how do I present this in the most effective possible manner? And that can be fun. And don't get me wrong, like when I do gigs, when I used to do like, nowadays I probably do more different stuff as well. But I used to walk in with 2 normal decks of cards, just in case one gets like damaged by beer or something. Because I used to do like Holy Moly in these bars and nightclubs and stuff. And then a Sharpie, and sometimes I'd have my contact ball with me. Sometimes I wouldn't. That was my whole thing. And I had like a real man's wallet, whatever. So card to wallet stuff. And that's it. That's my whole thing. And I would do very simple stuff. I would do 3-card Monty to 2-card Monty, ambitious card, like just, like standard shit. Not nothing too crazy, like sleight of hand wise. But because I did it so much, I got better and better at presenting the same effects.
Right.
And like, for example, like, 2-card Monty, a lot of magicians be like, oh, it's a sucker effect.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, okay, how do I do this supposedly like bad, like it makes the spectators feel bad? How do I do this without making the spectators feel bad?
Yeah.
How do I find a way to present it where I'm on their side?
Yeah.
Right. And so like that challenge to me was fun. But after doing fucking ambitious card for like 3,000 times, you kind of like, all right, let's put it up a notch. Right. So it's funny because I used to like present, this was my face up method, right? Just like a straight up.
Nice.
Right. And then I went, so that was like when I was having fun with sleights, like trying to see if I could get away with it and blah, blah, blah. And then I went, wait, that's not actually the strongest way to do that.
Yeah.
Like it's actually a lot stronger for me to just go, okay, 10 of spades. We'll take it and bend it like this.
Yeah. This thing is crazy.
And then now you see the bend in the card, right? So when I put the deck on top, you see the exact moment that card
it's so strong.
Comes to the top.
It's so good.
And like that kills.
I've done that, and that gets like better reactions than like any like triumph or like anything. Yeah, it's so strong.
I did my whole set one time. It was actually for one of the guys that does my FM, Jordan, I think his name is. But yeah, I performed my whole set, And then I do this at the end. He's like, oh, show me something else. I just do that by itself. And he's like, that was the coolest thing you've ever done.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, then I did that so many times where I got bored with that because I'm like, okay, I know it's strong. I know I can get away with it. So now I'm like, okay, I'll meet you halfway. All right. I'll still do something fun for me, but it's like a little bit,
with that.
yeah, a little bit better. So this is, I mean, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm doing, but the 10 goes about halfway, and then you see the exact moment that card comes to the top.
That's clean.
So yeah, that's like my go-to now if I feel like having fun.
Yeah.
And then I'll do that one if I just want the strongest possible effect.
Yeah.
And I'd care more about the effect than how my own enjoyment. But there's a lot of that where it's like, I'm just doing this for me at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think self-indulgent magic is underrated. I like threw half my deck on the floor when I was doing the flicker shot.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Grab it if you want. I'll
Oh no, it's all right. I'll just do this with like 2/3 of a deck. But have you seen the Open Triumph, Dani Daortiz?
Yes, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I've been doing that a lot.
Yeah,
I can give it a go.
Yeah.
So you know the idea of the Triumph is you take like half the cards and you shuffle them face up into face down like this. You can tell it's a real shuffle because you can hear it and because you can see it. Look. Face up, face down, face up, face down, face up, face down, face up, face down, face up, face up. Not a perfect shuffle. There are some blocks, but mostly every other card face up, face down, or like this. And the effect is that you take a card, you put it in the center, and then with just a wave or a magical gesture, every card turns face up except for the card that you picked, right? Which sounds pretty unbelievable, but we'll give it a shot. So is there any card there that you like the look of? Just name it and I'll...
2 of clubs, I think.
2 of clubs?
What's that one, yeah.
That one,
yep.
Perfect. I will put the 2 in the center. Is that the center? Not really. It's hard with a smaller deck, but...
Yeah, nice.
There you go, in the center. So now the hard part, which is... we have to do the magical gesture and then every card turns face up except for your
Is that on
one.
camera?
Yeah.
Cool. Perfect.
Every card turns face up except for one in the middle. With any luck, that's your 2 of clubs.
2 of clubs, baby. Yes. So, Ivan, which is the second episode of this podcast, and my best friend, we started Magic together. We both chipped in for the trilogy.
Sick.
And like bought it, and we were like sitting in front of the DVD player, like watching it and practicing and trying to do this. And we saw Dani come out with this fucking move, this trick, and we were like, "What the fuck is that?"
So good.
It was like the most mind blowing shit at the time, and we both we chipped in, we got it, and it was one of those things where it was way too scary for us to perform at the time. Like, you know what I'm talking about, but like, yeah, we were at a level where it was like, oh. We're not like, what happens if this happens? And
I've
then
never had anyone.
I know.
Do you perform it? Or?
I don't. I do Koista Kimlat's
also great.
version. Yeah. But I have to redo. So yeah, there's a couple things that I realized about doing it at a table. Have you watched his thing on it? Like, have you?
Coaches?
Yeah.
I think I've seen it. I mean,
there's like 2 versions. There's 2 versions that he does
right.
where there's one where it's like up this way.
Oh yeah.
And you can see it this way. Right. That one I'm really good at. And there's one where he does it this way.
Right.
And the handling's different.
Oh, okay.
And I suck at this one, which is, if you do this version for this way, it's kind of obvious.
Right.
And so, yeah, for the table, I'm like, fuck, now I have to relearn the whole move. Jesus Christ. Took me years. But yeah. But no, that's a fucking great one. And to be honest, it's one that I would do now. It's just that it's been like kind of not in my field of, it's just not in my head at the moment, but it's one that I would definitely do. The other one that's really, for some reason, kind of reminds me of it is Double Exposure by Alcy
Another
Lind.
great one.
Great one.
I used to do that a lot, but I've kind of forgotten how to do that. I need to
Yeah,
learn
yeah.
because it's so strong.
It's, in my opinion, it's one of the best impromptu card pieces of magic I've ever seen.
Things. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
no, it's really, really good.
the way it works with technology, but it doesn't.
Do you think it's stronger to do the cull afterwards and end
I've thought about
clean, or do you like ending still shuffled?
I actually think both are strong, but in their own way.
Right.
Because if you leave it shuffled, then the magic happens digitally. It happens. So for people listening, right? The trick is, if you haven't seen it, none of us can perform it because we're scrubs. but basically, it's the same idea with what he just did. But you take a photo of the cards being shuffled, and then the cards picked. There's a photo. Cards are all mixed up, face down, and then later on, you get the spectator to look back at the photo they took on their phone, and they realize that the whole deck is actually not shuffled, and there's only one card facing the other way, and it's their own card, but it's in the photo. So when they look at the deck, it's still mixed up. Now there's a way to do it that the deck is not mixed up at the end, and it's the same as in the photo. So I think like you can leave the deck mixed up, face down, and then to them it's like the presentation is you've gone back in time, or there's something happened to your camera, to your phone, like in your phone, right? Like the magic becomes kind of personalized to their phone, whereas
it's like magic happens, but not here.
Yes.
Over here.
Yes.
It's like redirected it.
Yes. But then if you go magic happened in your phone, then they look, and then it's like, oh, but you know how you were holding onto that deck, and it's
right.
I never touched it. Check the deck as well, and then they check it. And now it's fixed as well.
Right.
Then now
the phone is almost secondary.
Right. It's almost magic in their memory or their mind, because they're like, did I take the photo before? I must have been before. Yep. Right. Like the magic is no longer apparent that it happened in the phone. They're like trying to figure out at what point did it happen, because clearly the deck is also fixed. So I think like it's a slightly different effect in terms of like how it's even presented. So I don't even think it's the same effect anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. But
either way, great trick.
Which way do you like it best?
I would say, because when I would do it, I couldn't cull.
Yeah.
So I would only ever do it where it's still shuffled at the end.
Yeah. I think that's it's a more direct and more surprising. I probably would still do it that way. Or I would do it that way, still unshuffle the deck, but not reveal that.
Right. And
just like let some time happen and then go into the next trick and almost not even mention it. They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, wasn't those? Yeah.
Yeah. So like you could also not draw attention to that part.
So I was just reminded of this, with the idea of like magic's happening, but not here.
Mm-hmm.
And you could, with double exposure, you could still do that. You could, magic's going to happen with your phone. Okay, now that we've seen that, now let's try do it for real with the deck. Snap, and then boom.
Yeah, true.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Was also reminded of this thing that Franco told me about. So 10 of hearts. That goes in the middle like this. And I'm going to try and find it with one hand, right? So this is where the cardistry comes in. But I didn't tell you which hand. And then you have it here.
Yeah.
Which is fun. So like that idea of like something's cool and you're watching the deck and you're burning it and you're waiting for me to do the move, but it's like already happened and it's over here where you weren't looking.
Yeah.
It's like a really fun.
Or you could do like the who was it? Not Ben Earl? I can't remember who it was exactly. But they do that thing where it's like, I'm going to do it one-handed, one hand behind my back. And then at the end they do this big dramatic turn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. I like that, like the theater of that, you know?
Franco's one is really nice. I can't do it like sitting down here, but he does it really well. And he just goes like this.
Yeah.
And just stares at them. And it's really strong.
He's a really good performer.
He's great.
Like, just from what I've seen.
When I was at Cardistry Con, we were at a bar and there was like some random drunk guy there and he was like, oh, let me show you some stuff. Because the guy was like, what the fuck are you guys all doing? Like shuffling cards and stuff. And he was so confident and consistent, and he was just like boom, 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 hit after hit, just like destroying this guy's mind. And you could tell he'd clearly done a lot of tricks for drunk people because he knew to like reiterate every single point like 4 times so they remembered it. And he's like, amazing. Really great to see him perform.
Yeah, that's how you know you've been working out in the fucking clubs. Like, it's just like it's legit just drunk people management, honestly. People go, it must be so much easier performing for drunk people. It's like, no. Because drunk people aren't, they're not like, I don't know what you're going to do. Because you're so erratic.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like a sober person. Right? Yeah, a sober person. It's like, okay, he's probably gonna look at my hands. A drunk person might go, bro, I'm telling you, and then like looks up at the wrong time or whatever, right? Like, so I actually find it much more difficult with drunk people.
It's easy to fool drunk people, but it's hard to impress drunk people.
It's hard to manage a group,
right?
Because the attentions, as I said, like it's. When people are sober, it's just what the general response and the general reaction and the general potential possibilities. The branches open up. The branches of what can happen open up when people are drunk. And like a drunk person might come through the thing, and now all of a sudden they're having a 3-year reunion when they're all drunk. Oh my god! Sorry. And you have to like figure out, okay, do I like restart the trick because now like no one's even paying attention? Do I keep going? Do I try to do something to draw everyone's attention back?
Exactly,
there's all these things that can happen. But yeah, that's cool. How was the Cardistry convention? Where was it
cool.
first of all?
San Diego.
San Diego.
Yes.
Sheesh.
It was very fun.
Yeah.
Very cool. Met a lot of cool people. A lot of people that I've been friends with for a long time and haven't met because this is the first one since 2019.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. So like a bunch of people that I've met online since then, became good friends with, and then finally meet in person is always a great feeling.
Are Cardistry conventions different to magic conventions in any way?
Yes, and that there are more cardists and less magicians.
I just mean like do you guys all still stay up till fucking 3 a.m.
Oh yeah,
doing random shit somewhere?
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, we go pretty hard on the jams. I think the main difference is like what actually happens during the convention is more less teaching and more kind of performing, or like screening videos. I've only ever seen, I don't even know if I can even count. Basically, you never see like live cardistry performance at Cardistry Con. Unless you're like obviously talking to someone one-on-one, you're going to like show each other stuff. But like no one's going to go on stage and do a routine. Whereas in Magic Convention, that's the whole thing.
Yeah,
right?
I feel like that's an untapped little niche there.
I agree, but it's really hard to do that.
I can believe it. Yeah, I can believe it.
I can name a couple people that would probably be able to do it, but like even they would struggle and would probably not want to do it.
Yeah. Well, you would just end up doing much simpler stuff.
Right, exactly.
And make it more as theatrical as you can, right?
Exactly.
So it just wouldn't be as neck level as, a screening or a video, but yeah. So, all right. You said you're getting more into magic. So what sort of stuff are you working on?
Well, I've been trying to come up with some like sleights of my own, a lot of cool like color changes I've been trying to find. It turns out it's really hard to make a good color change because all the good stuff's already been made.
Yeah.
You can't make the paintbrush change because it already exists. You can't make, the duck change or whatever.
It's all about, I mean, the way I developed anything really was always like an existing color change.
Yeah.
And then is there anything I can do that is slightly different?
Or,
like with the infinity change, like it's people like don't even realize that it's not a Cardini because mechanically it works slightly different, but like, right? Because it's a Cardini, but it's not like there's a little bit of an extra thing happens to be able to do it repeatedly.
I've been playing with this thing. I don't know, like the angle for the camera is going to be garbage, but we'll see if we can get it. Like this thing, like that.
I've never seen that.
Thanks. I mean, it's apparently Kalen Morelli had something like a little similar where he would do it off the front like this, and it was basically the same. But I've been just messing around with doing it off like the side edge. Which is, But it's hard, and like it's barely original. Like it's original enough to be able to say I made this, but if you showed a layman both versions, they'd be like, that's the same thing.
Right.
You're just like holding the different corner or whatever. So it's like, I don't know. But making magic is really hard. I think magic is very rewarding to make your own stuff, and it's very fun to come up with tricks and sleights. But if you're actually performing for people, unless you're kind of at the very top, you're not going to perform your own tricks to people because they're not as good as what like the 100-year-old tricks that everyone's been doing for that long are. Because if they weren't that good, they wouldn't have been doing them for 50, 100 years. So like obviously those are going to be stronger.
Yeah.
But in terms, like we were talking about the like doing magic for yourself. If you make a trick and can then perform that feels great.
Yeah.
So like, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, I feel like there's a kind of a distinction between creating like move monkey type stuff,
right?
Which is almost cardistry vein,
exactly.
Right? Like it's more of a display of skill than it is like how magical is that. Like that, right. Like I don't perform the infinity change to anyone really, because it's like a smooth change. In my opinion, smooth types of changes are like much more. Oh, goddamn! Let me go again. Oh, my hands, Jesus. Okay, let's try. Last time. There we go. Smooth changes are much better than like, in my opinion. They look more magical. They're,
The best change you can do is go like this. See this 5?
Yeah.
Now it's the 9. Like that's way stronger than any color change.
Yeah.
Especially like if you put it on their hand and blow on it or like do something.
100%. Yeah.
Like you can do the duck change or do like any like visual thing and they'll go like, whoa, but it won't be as memorable because there's no like suspense around it.
There's also that time. So when you do that one you just said, right? Like you have that time misdirection where the longer you can separate the act of when the change happened to when the reveal happened, but it still makes sense. Like you're not obviously just dragging it on to drag it out. Then it's much harder to backtrack and figure out like even when it happened. So if you can't even figure out when it happened, by definition, like the magical moment will be stronger, because even if you don't know what happened in a color change, you go, that's when it happened.
Right. So Franco showed me a really cool thing with that, and I'll see if I can hit it. So 2 of diamonds, I place it on the back of my hand.
Nice.
And it flies through the air and lands in the other hand, and in midair, it changes into the Joker.
That's cool.
And so, like, something like that is really cool because of that time restriction, like you said, they don't know when it happens. So you can literally say, oh, it happens right here in midair.
Yeah.
And they'll believe that. They go, this is the point where it changed. I don't know how, but it went from this hand to this hand, and halfway between them, it turned into a Joker.
Yeah.
And, like...
That's a cool one. Yeah,
like
that's a really nice
really
one.
Cool.
Yeah. So, I was on some train before, but I can't remember what I was saying. Something about, so like there is, the idea of coming up with sleights, right? And that's cool. But it's, as I said, it's move monkey stuff. But then like you come into the creativeness of like acts. And I feel like oftentimes, I'm not even saying that it's like you're creating you're creating a whole effect or this whole original thing. But for example, for this last act that I did, I needed a deck switch for the Slang Magic, and I just like grabbed a couple things from around the house and I just made a thing that allows me to switch decks. And I don't know, like I'm sure it exists. There's no chance I came up with it, but I didn't look at any, like I just knew I needed something, and I made it to my own specifications, and like according to Dev, and I believe so too, it was like the cleanest deck switch we've both ever seen, because it was motivated in performance.
Right.
Like there wasn't a point where...
It was a sleight made specifically for one purpose.
Yeah, it was a really gimmick / everything made... Yeah, and it worked exactly for the circumstance. Cool. And I wouldn't say it's a creation of mine, because I don't even know if it... I'm pretty sure it exists. It must.
I mean, if you made it, it's a creation. It's just whether or not it's...
original.
The first one.
Yeah, sure. But in that sense, like I feel like that's very performable because I created it for this moment in this act, if that makes sense. Right. But as you say, like if you're trying to reinvent the wheel and come up with a new way to move cards around, good luck, Yes. Yeah, like it's
really hard. Some people are still doing that. I'll show you a video later of a guy called Jack Paton who put a video out where it's just all new color changes.
Shoot.
And there's like a bunch of snap change variations, which I'm sure you'll like.
We'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Look it up. Gotta bust out the flip phone. How satisfying is it when you just fucking hang up on someone? You go,
I'll do it for the camera. Listen.
hey.
Oh, it's so good.
You just need an angry ex-girlfriend on the line, and then
There you go.
all right, let's see. Just chuck it here. We'll overlay it after, so don't worry about it. All right. Holy fuck! What the what the fuck was that?
Right.
Oh, nice. But I see what you're saying though. Like to a layman, that looks exactly the same as a paintbrush.
But layman can still appreciate it
100%.
as being like really good. So this for context, this video got screened at Cardistry Con when I was there,
nice.
and I was just blown away. This was like probably my favorite video, or at least in my like top 2 or 3 of the event. I would say it was my favorite though, because I was thinking about this video for like days afterwards, and I was like, I need to see this again.
The classic David Blaine snap.
This is ridiculous. You might have to watch that again to catch it.
Okay, wait up. Okay, wait. I'll watch the whole thing first.
Watch the whole thing. Yeah.
It would just be easier to edit if I don't backtrack. Oh, dude, that's fucking clean. Where's this guy from?
He's from the UK, I believe.
Bloody hell. I'm like, what? I was trying to figure out where the fuck that was going. Nah, dude. This is some bullshit. Some absolute bullshit. Bro, I thought I had snap changes, eh? I ain't got shit. Oh, nice. Crack up. How good could fucking Cardis be, dude? In Magic, I mean. If you just fucking...
I think I would love to see more Cardists pick up Magic and just totally like destroy the scene.
It's actually insane. The only thing is you'd have to have them like approach it from a different perspective. You know?
Wait.
If you can approach...
This one's, go back and check this one.
Oh yeah, sweet. We're almost at the end. Wait up. Let me finish it and then I'll go back. What? How many was that?
Like 5. So the 2.
How does he keep them fucking together though? That's what I don't understand, dude. Is it this one? Or back more?
Here, I'll find it.
Yeah.
The one after this.
So at 248. What the fuck?
That's ridiculous.
What was that?
I don't know, dude. So like this is like one of the people that is just like still inventing new sleights and new Move Monkey stuff, and that's like so sick. And I've been talking to this guy a bunch, and he's been inspiring me to make some new stuff.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, shout out Jack.
Fuck you, dude. That's all I want to say, dude. That's all I want to say. I thought I had some snap changes, but it turns out I ain't got fucking anything, dude. Good thing I got out of the monkey move business when I did, you know, because I'd be now I can say, oh yeah, I don't do that kind of stuff anymore, you know. I've regressed to the magician that doesn't do sleights. So nice. I do a little bit.
But yeah, I think and that like that is really interesting because that is a cardistry video that's only got sleights in it, right? It's sleights presented as cardistry. So you could even do a video like that and reveal everything. Obviously, all this stuff's so good that you don't know how like any of it's done. But like you could do a video like that, reveal everything, and it would just be like just as cool for
Just
like
cardistry.
magicians and cardists. Just as like, oh, here's like why this like change is cool. Here's where the card goes. Like, isn't this neat?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Well, like I have a friend of mine he's really into like, he just enjoys like trying to work out the tricks, which is a lot of people, which is fine. Fair enough. Yeah. The other day I just did tricks for him like for an hour and a half, and he was just like sitting there trying to figure them out.
Yeah.
And like he loves sleight of hand stuff. So whenever it's something like a color change, like to him,
he wants to know where the card goes, which finger's pulling it.
Obviously he wants to know, but even if he can't figure it out, it's like, oh shit, like that was cool because I couldn't, like I know when it happened, I know, but I couldn't see it. It was, you know, and so for him, like obviously, as you said, it's a stronger effect to go like, it's going to change, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But to him, if he sees sleight of hand, he appreciates it a lot, right? So I think there's some, I guess, non-magicians out there that can see the skill in it and be like, that is fucking cool.
Definitely. I think most people can.
Yeah.
If you present it in the right way. And this goes back to what we were first talking about like magic and cardistry kind of combining. If you make everything, like if you show that you're skilled and everyone knows you're skilled, all they're trying to look for is like, okay, where is he going to apply that skill to make this effect happen? So like if you do this change, actually I'm going to do that again because that was a terrible double lift. If you do this change, where you take the 5, place it on the table, oh, it moved a little bit, that was cool, and then it turns into the king. If you've already shown that you can do the spring and all of that stuff, they're going to go, okay, well maybe he did it when he was putting it down, maybe when he turned it over, something. But if you're like super messy and then you do a double lift like this from the, I can't do the table double lifts, but you know what I mean? If you do something like that, or if you do actually perfect example is the top change. If you're like talking to people and like looking in their faces and like you go, okay, what was your card? And then that's changed, then that is a totally different effect, I think, than this very specific, watch the king, I place it on the table, after just 1 second, then it changes into the other king. That's like a totally different feeling, and I think people can look at that differently. Like if you were talking to your friend that's like very into the sleight stuff, and you got a top change where he was looking at you and he didn't see it, and you went boom, that would probably fool him way stronger than the double lift or anything like that, because it's kind of outside of that space, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just depends like on the style as well, right? Like what you want out of it. Like in some level, like for example, like someone like Brendan, he might do like a bunch of memory stuff, and he might pretend that it's mind reading. Yeah. Whereas I might do sleight of hand stuff and pretend it's memory. Because for me, the memory stuff is fucking impossible to do because I'm fucking stupid. Yeah. And so then, like I might try to present it as a memory effect even when it's like not. Yeah. Whereas someone doing memory might want to present it somewhere, some other way.
It's like people that like you can do gambling demos where you literally don't have to do anything and it's all basically automatic, and you're like, yeah, look, I've stacked the whole deck, and like meanwhile you're just doing like shuffles and zeros and like false.
I'm gonna deal off the bottom, but really it's all stacked.
It's like
Speaking of Ace Productions, this is one that I remember. Oh fuck.
Nice.
And then I had another one, if I can remember the sequence. I believe it was like this.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So those were, I believe I made those. I can't remember, to be honest. It's been a fucking long time.
Oh, yeah.
But that's my 2 Ace Productions that I can actually remember. And any other time, I just do a bunch of like different ways of shooting cards out.
Yeah,
and
that's so good. I still can't really hit the long distance spinner very well. I've kind of got it, but
I've told the story a bunch of times on this podcast, but speaking of consistency, George Iglesias, I don't know if you know who he is. He's just like a family magician, like does all sorts of shows and stuff. One time he had a lecture flogging his stuff. You know how they do it at lectures. They just like sell shit. And we were just sitting in the front row, just me and my mate, like doing cardistry at the front, just like bored as shit because he was like selling some popcorn trick or something. And he's like, boys, look at this. And it's like a room full of 70, like IBM magicians and stuff, old people. And he does this and he like shoots a card out and it goes like, 2 meters up at a 45 diagonal, boomerangs back, and he catches it inside. Wait up. Let me see if I can do it. Catches it inside the deck like this.
That's sick.
First time. And I'm like, the whole place went nuts, and we're just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So like instantly went up like after the thing. I was like, show me how to do that. Show me how to do that. And like, so he showed me this little like riffle.
The riffle I've seen is that's really strong. I just really nice. The flick, but
and then the catch. Yeah.
There's a guy that does this shot, and then he quickly does a fan and then catches the fan, which is another really good one.
Yeah. I'm not the thing with my thumb fans are actually pretty trash, like just in general. Like I can never get them to look as nice as my pressure fans.
I think that's just how the fans work. Because I'm the same.
Oh yeah.
Mine's pressure fans super
see
even,
my thumb fans are just very trash, even with a new. I just don't do them enough, to be honest. So when I just, it's a bit better. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah. So
there was I'll show you this real quick because this is just a little idea that I had when I was thinking about. I was like freestyling stuff. I moved in with a couple of new flatmates a couple months ago, and they all love magic. So like any chance I get, I'm like just trying shit on them.
Nice.
And I've been doing this as like a gambling thing. So it's a little bit of Leonard Green and a little bit of whoever knows what. So we take the 4 kings and say we're playing a 4-hand game, and there's 2 ways that you could stack this game, right? You could either do it with the left brain or the right brain. I don't remember which one is left. Left brain is like the analytical.
Supposedly, I think it's the creative side.
Right. Sorry, got them mixed up. So the right brain is the like analytical way. So this was like the logical way that you could do this. So you could take the cards, and when you shuffle them, you give them a shuffle like this, where you shuffle them perfectly. And because you're shuffling them perfectly, you can know exactly where that's going. And if you give them another one, it actually puts them into the perfect position that when you deal them out.
Nice.
Then they're all exactly where you want them, right? And if you were better, you'd have like all these is different as well, but I'm not that good. And then you can start doing this. So this angle's going to be weird, but so like say if we're going with the left brain, it's more kind of random. You're not really keeping track of exactly where they're going. You're kind of estimating between, okay, maybe that's 4 cards, 12, I don't really care how many cards are going between because I know roughly based on estimation, and I'm not thinking too hard about it, and I'm going here, and because of that extra like kind of messiness, I can get away with putting them at kind of similar positions, and then where I catch you is they're actually right here, right?
So nice.
So for like layman, that works pretty good, and
that's fucking
if you get
cool.
the angle right, that's super fun to do.
Yeah, I've seen that. Not the first part, but the second part.
The second part is Leonard Green.
Yeah, I've seen, what's his, like, disciple? The Japanese kid.
I can't remember his name either, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, with the fucking cowboy hat.
Yeah.
he's a crack-up character, man. Yeah, it's just like this Japanese guy. I assume he's Japanese, right?
Yeah.
Don't want to stir the pot if it's wrong. But yeah, I love that one. Yeah, that's another move I have never really like went for is like that laser deal sort of stuff. Yeah, that's fucking sick. Very cool. All right, what can I even, all right. What have I been working on? I don't know if I've ever shown you this, but maybe I have. It's like one of the moves that I made that it's like I've never used and I will never use, but here we go. So say stop.
Stop.
Got it?
Nice.
Cool. Watch close. Just give it a nice spring. And that card is controlled.
Very nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's okay. It's not my favorite. Move. It's not my favorite. It's just angles, and there's a lot of easier ways to do the same thing. But it's one of those things where one of those things where you come up with something, and what else? I did like here we go. Oh, here's one that I've been playing around with. So, all right, fuck it. We'll do this one. So, take one out. Don't show me. Oh, actually, we'll do it like this. I'll give it to you to shuffle, but just say stop.
Stop.
Right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Put your hands together like this. Yeah, like a cup. And just shuffle, mix it up. And I'm gonna do I'm gonna memorize this deck of playing cards.
Are you really?
Yes, absolutely.
Your memory must have gotten a lot better since we talked about this.
It's gotten yeah. It's so I've just through osmosis.
Nice.
I have I wish I could say I have a harmonica book somewhere in the room, but I don't. It's just permeated my skull. Okay, so I'm just going to try to memorize this deck of playing cards. Okay, so I'm just going to go through like this. There's a sign card, but we don't need that. All right, so I've memorized like the red-black order.
Okay.
Right? So the way they go red, black, red, black. So hopefully, if I get this right. Okay, I think. So I have, if I did this correctly, and I think I should have. What I have here is every single black card.
Nice.
And every single red card.
Oh, yeah.
Now, was your card red or black?
It was red.
It was red. So it was in here. Can you put your hand over the black cards? And your card was red, you said, right?
It was.
Okay, I'm going to go for this one here. Okay. Can you, yeah, we'll just pass those along so I can spread them on screen, and you can see there's only one red card with all the blacks, and that should be your card.
It is.
Ta-da!
That's awesome.
There it is.
Great trick.
It's been a while since I did that one, but there we go. And there's another variation I'm working on. Did you see, I don't know if you saw, did you see the little clips on Instagram with JP doing the Rubik's Cube trick?
I think I did, yeah.
It's the one in the paper bag.
With the bag, and then he has the second one.
And then that came out of it.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. So I have a similar idea using this method.
Right.
With doing it with two different decks of cards. You have one shuffled one and one that's not shuffled.
That's cool.
Or then like one that's separated red, black.
Yeah.
And then it's the same idea of same concept. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm trying to play with something like that as well. See if I can do it like basically a Rubik's Cube trick with cards.
That would be a great way if you did it with what's his name? Can't remember the name. The guy went on Full Us and he did a really cool trick where he has like a deck that ends up like sealed in the box.
Sean Farquhar?
That's the one. If you did something like that where you have the two decks in the box, you put the one you're using, you're like, okay, shuffle these up, put them back in the box, and then you put it in.
Yeah.
And you go, do the whole thing. Oh, I actually have two decks in here. Haha. And you pull it out. And like this one's actually still sealed. And you can like give that to them to have a look at or something like that.
Really cool. Smart. Yeah. I have to play with that.
There's a... let me do this. It probably won't for you, but it's still fun. Actually, I should probably get the jokers out. Right. So, these were your cards. So, a deck of cards is quite an interesting thing because you can find a lot of patterns. And like looking for patterns can be quite interesting. So, before we start, I just wanted you to see like the cards aren't like all the aces together or anything like that. They're all kind of mixed up. I mean, here we've got one of the aces, we've got two red, but like pretty much mixed. What we're going to do, actually, do you want to do this? Can you just give those a good riffle shuffle?
Sure.
Perfect. And push them in, but not all the way. Yep, there's good. And what we're going to do is we're going to just spread these so the camera can see. And we're going to look for patterns in this.
They might need, that's all right.
I can move it?
Yeah, move it either this way or like right next to, right on the edge there.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, perfect.
So we can look for patterns here. So here we've got 4, 2, 1, and then got a big block here, not a perfect shuffle here, but that's all right. And then here, see, look, we've got like 1, 1, 1, 1,
yeah.
1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Oh, that's like a big block of like all ones. And then we go back to 2, 1, 3. So like this kind of like looking for patterns is quite interesting when you shuffle and you can start finding interesting stuff. And you can also look for patterns here after they've shuffled. So first you've shuffled a 6, right? And then a jack. Okay, interesting. And then we've got a 2, and we've got clubs, spades, clubs. Maybe we're looking for another spade. Okay, clubs, but maybe the jack goes with the queen. Okay, and then we've got a 9. So 9 is like an upside down 6. Jack here, we've got the other jack, so maybe we're looking for a pair now of these. Okay, now we've got jack, queen, king. Maybe the ace next for the clubs, or okay, more clubs. 8, ace. Then we've got an ace. We got a 10. We got a 7. We got a 10. We got a 7. We got a 3. You shuffled these, right? And this is the pattern that you created. The ace, the 9, the 2, the 5. You get the idea.
Very
that's
cool.
That one.
Very cool.
Cute little idea from Alex Hansford.
I really like that. I never thought about doing it like that.
I like tricks where people don't realize that the trick's already happened till halfway through the
it's the
revelation.
one ahead principle, right?
Yeah.
Where you just in some way you gotta if you start if the starting point of this trick isn't the real starting point.
The starting point of the trick is actually like midway through the revelation of the trick. It's always funny.
Yeah.
Because people are like, wait a minute.
It's great. So good.
I'll show you this thing as well. Now that they're actually shuffled for real. Actually, there's more like interesting thing about shuffling is like you can shuffle like this, right? But you can do doing more shuffles after a certain point doesn't make the deck more shuffled because it's still just as random as it was before. So if you give these like 100 shuffles, it's still just as shuffled as if you did 200. But it's just a different order, but it's the same amount of randomness. So you can make this, you can get more shuffled by doing this. Sorry, this is with your deck.
No, perfect, yeah.
Right, so now they're more shuffled.
Right.
Than just doing regular shuffles. Like this is more chaotic. And you can't get more shuffled than this really, but you could get more chaotic if we start doing things like this and really kind of making a bit of a mess here. Can you, now that we're in this position, can you lift up, you've got like a kind of a claw hand and a claw machine, lift up a pile and then flip it over and put it back down? Oh, yep.
Like that?
Yeah, exactly. Right, lift up another pile, maybe go a little deeper this time. Flip it over, put it back down, give them like a little spin. Very good. Lift up again.
Deeper?
Oh, maybe a little shallower so you don't grab the whole pack wherever you want, in the middle somewhere.
Like that?
Yep. And I want you to, flip that over again and put it down. Let's go one more. Lift up. And this time, I'm going to look away. I want you to take the bottom card. I don't know if it's face up or face down, but just remember it. And then put it back and put the pile back down. You got
the same order as I found it?
Yep.
Cool. Yep. And I put it back down?
Yep.
Okay.
You've done that?
Yep.
So you've got a card somewhere in there that you've memorized?
Yep.
Was it face up or face down? I don't know.
It was face up.
Face up. Okay, cool. Can I have these? I'm going to give you, half of the cards. That's about half, right?
Yeah, nice.
And we're going to, actually I'll give you a little bit more. And we're going to start trying to mix them. So your card is face up somewhere in here. I don't know if it's in here or in here.
Yeah.
And so since we know that it's face up, I want you to also do this.
Okay.
And start mixing these both directions. Shove them together like
fine.
this.
Just like that?
Yeah, looks good.
Cool.
Go ham. Cool, I'll give you some more. You give me some. Feel free to drop them on the floor if you want and really get into it, but
all right.
Cool. I'll have those back. And we'll just do one final smush like this. No, I don't know if your card is in here face up or face down or whatever, but what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and find your card with one hand without looking.
Okay.
So the camera's going to make me honest. I'm going to face the other way.
I'll just move these slightly back make sure they're on the camera.
And I'm going to try and find your card without looking. I'm going to try and find your card without looking with one hand. Ready?
Yep.
Can you name out loud the card that you picked at the start of the trick?
3 of hearts. Woo! I was legit worried for you for a second. I was like, you might not get this, dude.
No. I got it.
That's fucking good.
Thank you.
It really adds to the feeling of chaos. Like, even though I know that there is, in theory, there should be a way,
right,
for you to know what card I saw, right? In theory. No, you know what? Actually, thinking back, no, I'm fooled. I would say that. No, I'm not going to even pretend. I thought there was some, like, I just reviewed what my selection process was, and I realized that idea doesn't work. So you fooled me. Congrats. That was fucking dope.
Shout out to Harapan. That was Harapan's trick.
I really like the amount of chaos that like creates.
It's really fun. It's fun to perform, and it's fun to do for people, because people don't usually, especially like what we're talking about with like being controlled and like being very precise. You can still do this trick as a way to break that and make it feel more kind of authentically chaotic. Because I think sometimes if you do magic and you try and play I don't really know what I'm doing, I'm not that skilled, how could I be getting so lucky with all the and doing all this crazy stuff? After a while, that kind of doesn't work anymore, because they've seen you do all this crazy stuff. They've seen you do like all these random productions, or you've like dealt like crazy hands in your gambling demo. So it's a good way of saying like, okay, no, I'm gonna put aside all the control and literally go, no, how chaotic can we make this position? Like, we'll do this, we'll give you half, we'll just chuck them on the table, like almost becomes like a game. It's really fun. Yeah,
the only person that I feel like gets away with that, like, I don't know, let's try something, is David Blaine.
Yeah,
but he became a meme, like, like he went on Jimmy Kimmel, he's like, let's try something. He's like, yeah, sure. Let's try. Like, like everyone's like, yeah, right. Okay. I see what you're like. Let's just try this. I don't know if it's going to work. Like, yeah, right. You don't know if it's going to work. You're David Blaine, So like it kind of became a meme. Yeah. But I agree, because it's the same thing of like the expectations now are rising. So you try to make it the most impossible you can. Same idea with like blindfolding and doing the whole fucking tape around the eyes and stuff. I really like that theatrics, because it's like now it's so much harder, at least visually in theory, to do what I need to do. And so that's what it felt like. And like, even though I'm like, you fooled me, so there's no, like, I don't know what the fuck happened, but I shouldn't feel like you're going to fuck up, because I know that you have a method, right? Like, because I'm a magician. Right. So but even then I felt like, fuck, is he actually going to mess this up? Like, I don't know if
it feels very like out of my hands.
Yeah. I was legit like in thinking about like, are we going to have to redo this trick because he's not going to get it? Like, that thought crossed my mind, and that's the beauty of it, because it creates so much chaos that even for me, I'm like, fuck, he's not going to get this. Yeah. No chance. Like, fuck, I love that one, man.
Cool. Good to hear it.
Yeah, that's why I like the Coister style Triumph as well, because he's just like, get in there, mix it, face up, face down, face up, face down, And then it's like, all right, do you want a face up one, face down one? And like, it just feels so chaotic the whole way through.
I saw a really nice Triumph routine on Instagram, and I can't remember who it was, and it's really annoying me because I wanted to go and learn it because it looked really clean. But the basically effect was, it would talk about like how people like to keep their decks square. Magicians like to have this. So like even doing this is kind of, for a lot of magicians, is starting to get a little, people kind of get a little antsy about that. And if you start doing this, or God forbid you do this,
right?
And then he starts doing like kind of this kind of thing, and he like turns them all over and then squares them up and then spreads them out again. And they're like,
right.
Once he squares them, then they're thinking it's like super strong. I can't remember who did it. But yeah, that kind of purposely getting into those kind of chaotic situations is always fun as well.
When you're creating cuts and moves, like let's take for cardistry, right? Let's just bring it back. When you're creating, what's your process? Do you have an idea? Like, do you have like, okay, I want to make something using this opening like grip, or do you sort of just like Do you stumble? Like how do you, like, what's your process?
So it kind of depends on what type of move, and a lot of it happens for cuts. Usually it'll be, I find an opener. I find something I want to use. So like right now I have this thing that I haven't done anything with to this position. That's quite interesting, but I don't know what to do with there. So then
how did you do it? You went.
So it's like this. It's like Sybil.
Yeah.
This comes up to the thumb. And then this pivots round, and then your fingers stick between these three.
Like this?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So one finger between each packet. And you can actually like let go and just clip that there if you want.
Oh, I see.
Do a bunch of stuff. And there's like a bunch of ideas I've already had with this, but I'm not happy with any of them. So I'm going to keep working on it. But so like that's how you'd make a packet cut generally. There are exceptions, of course. You find a thing, and then you kind of move forward and like step by step, and you go, okay, where can I go from here? Which is the best direction? Which gets me to the most interesting place. You can also do that backwards. So I have this cut that I might be able to do. Hang on, let me start again.
For anyone listening, you have to see this shit. Oi.
So something like that.
That's
an example of where I found the closing slide moment first, and then I almost worked backwards to get to that point because I have a really cool closer that I really want to use, but I don't really have any way of getting there yet. So I go, okay, you kind of it's tricky because you have to kind of think like backwards in time as you're making it. So you go, okay, what do I need to do to get to this position to get to the closer that I need?
Yeah.
And I was actually lucky because I was already working on this like opener, which kind of lent itself to that. So I almost combined the two. Wait, how does it work? That's right, like this. So I found like that slide, and then this kind of sets this mechanic up really well.
Right.
And you get that slide.
Yeah.
So, but like cuts are very different to other conceptual moves. So like, what's a good example? So like, for example, the move I talked about where you shoot a card up.
And it bounces off the mic. That's a specific one, only works on podcasts.
This one that I was talking about where it bounces off the top of the spring, that's the kind of move that you don't really make accidentally. Like maybe you do, or maybe something happens, you go, oh, that was cool, let me see if I can make that better. But that's the kind of move where you have to kind of think it up in your head and go, wouldn't it be crazy if I could bounce a card off the top of a spring and then catch it afterwards? And then you find the way to do that. So it's almost like, it's kind of the same with magic, right? Like if you're creating a trick, this is different from creating a sleight or versus a trick, but like if you're creating a trick, you either have a overall effect that you want to make.
Yep.
So you go, I want to make a triumph that also has a color changing deck in that. How do I get to that point? What do I need? What's my starting position? What's my ending position? How am I going to make that work? Versus, I just learnt this new sleight. I want to make a trick out of this. What can I make with this? As opposed to, what can I make into this thing that I want to make? Right. So those are the kind of two main things. I mean, some people call them kind of hand thinking versus head thinking. So head thinking is like preconceived like ideas of like, okay, I want this to do this specific thing, versus I'm just going to start and almost freestyle, and eventually I'll find something that works. So yeah.
Here's an idea I had, cardistry wise. I'm not sure. So I think it's.
Oh, it's cool, like a Moulin Rouge type.
I don't know. I've never seen it before, but this sort of flicker thing.
Dimitri Aleri is a cardist from France, I believe, and he has a move called.
There we go. It's starting to go.
Yeah, he has a move called Moulin Rouge where he does that on the thumbs like this.
Nice.
And then he has another version where he somehow, I have no idea how he does it, but he gets three of them going like this at the same time. It's ridiculous.
Jesus Christ.
Even he says it's like really hard, but yeah.
There's another example of coming up with something that's definitely already been. I didn't expect it to not be done, to be honest.
Right.
But I was just like, oh shit, you can kind of spin things around.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean you couldn't make something new with it.
True.
In theory, right?
Yep.
I believe those are yours.
That is true.
And like, there's a bunch of times that I've made stuff where it's very similar at the core level. Nice. Oh, have you seen? Hang on. I'll break my train of thought and do this thing. Ah, shit. Oh, no, we're good. And then you get.
Oi, fuck! Didn't expect that. What the fuck?
Fun one. So
just before we get off that, there's a game that Richard Ballas invented, as far as I can tell, with table doubles.
Yeah.
And you basically take turns at throwing table doubles down, and there's some rule about like whoever's split like get eliminated, and then you try to see how many table doubles exist on the board at the end. So like if I hit like you do one, right? Yeah, and then I would now it'd be my turn. Right, so it's almost like split it. Yeah. Well, I want to try to keep one on board, and then you would do one.
Right. It's almost like curling or
yeah, with the table. Yeah. So then we would go again, and I'll try to. Yeah, there we go. Now you split your own
ones.
Yeah,
that's fun. Someone told me a story of a guy who could do table doubles at a bar.
Yeah.
And he'd have the bar table like this, and he'd be like, "Yo, you over there, lift up your glass." And he'd have the two people pick a card, and he'd slide a table double over.
Ooh.
And the bottom card would stick to the moisture left under the guy's glass, and the top card would keep sliding in front of the next guy, and they'd turn them over, and those were both of their cards. So sick.
God,
I don't know who that was, but like, it would be crazy to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
Get good at that.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to do on this table because the indents on the cups, but
yeah.
Maybe if there was one like this, you just like have it fly off. But yeah.
What are we talking about? Creativity. Cardistry.
Yeah, cardistry.
Yeah.
Making new moves and stuff.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. And there's been a lot of theory over the years about it. I think a lot of the theory has kind of died down. Like a lot of the stuff that needs to be said has been said already.
Right.
So, there are a few people that are still like coming up with new cool like cardistry theory of like how to make moves and like things you can do to make moves more interesting. I find what's quite interesting is that like you'd think that one-handed cuts are like harder to make than like a two-handed cut because you've got half the number of fingers to work with, but I actually find it easier because when you're making a two-handed cut, you're so like there's so many directions you could go for any move, like say even just from Z grip there are so many things. Like you could bring this forward, you could split this one, you could split this one, you could split the bottom one, you could split like all three of them. You could like, there's like an infinite possibility, but like if you're doing a one-handed cut, it's like, okay, we start here. Well, the only thing I can really do here is bring this up and put it on top, or maybe kind of bring this underneath and do something like that. So you're really limited, and that is quite nice for creating because it means you don't need to find the right thing. You just need to find anything,
right? And
then like get through to the end of the cut.
Yeah. Interesting. This is really like weird because it reminds me of, and like, yeah, it's weird. It reminds me of jiu-jitsu because like everyone has like different games they play, and like, so like for example, I might have a choke that I'm really good at, and I have to go, okay, how do I get to a position where this choke is applicable?
Right.
And then I have to so it's like, okay, I need to get the side control to then get to mount to then choke the guy. Okay, how do I get the side control? Right. And so you're like, okay, what's my opening grip? And so it's like the same. It's the exact same thing where you're like, okay, trying to you're either working off the front and you're going, okay, I'm starting at this grip, and like, where can I go from here? All right, I know the Sybil goes this way, so maybe we try to go the other way as like a way to make it different. And then I want to close with whatever the fuck, or you can go like, oh yeah. And then you can go, I have this closer I need an opener for, and you work backwards. Yeah. Do you ever have like a middle that you don't have an opener or an end?
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I've definitely had that and stuff. Usually, what's an example? I mean, I haven't done this one in ages, so I don't remember exactly how to do it, but give me a second to figure this out. I think it's like this. I need someone to teach me my own move. I can't remember it. Hang on. No, never mind. I've forgotten how to do it.
That's the classic.
But yeah, I've definitely had stuff where I find like a really cool like structure where like something moves, but I'm like, how the hell do I get into this position and then get out of it again? It's like so weird. But
a lot of those like geometrical ones that I've seen where they're like, I don't even fucking know, but they do some whack shit where it's like squares in a hand.
Yeah.
Like, and then they got a card somewhere like off here or some shit. And it's like this sort of shit.
Yeah, hang on, I can hit that real quick.
Yeah, you might be able to do it.
Oops.
But that sort of stuff is like, how do you even get into that position? Ooh. Oh. Oh. The Pentagon. Fucking hell.
Someone just very recently did a one-handed hexagon in the same kind of way, and it's like the first time anyone's done it. It's like,
it reminds me of fucking like what's the guy's name? Tony Hawk, when he like first did the 900 and everyone was like, oh my God.
and they're like, no one's going to ever do more than this.
Yeah, and then
like now some kids probably done more. Or
yeah,
there's
there's like scooter kids like winning fucking the X Games.
Yeah.
Like on bikes. There's one kid like he was like known for like he was a pro scooter guy and like did his first like a BMX comp and like won the whole thing or something.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I was just like, this is the way the fucking, the future, man. Like everything's evolving.
Sometimes I look at cardistry and magic and like all this other stuff. I've been learning a little bit of roller skating and it's been really
nice.
fun. But I always look at skating. I'm like, nothing's ever going to be as cool as skating. Skating is the most cool hobby you can have.
Right.
Because like you can't compete with it.
Yeah.
Like even stuff that's like almost skating, like even scooter tricks and like or parkour or BMX or like all these things, never quite as cool as skating. You get close.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Rollerblading, like the crazy bit, like like the actual skate park rollerblading is pretty close to me.
It's very sick.
Because a lot of it is flips. Yeah. And flips, you can't how can you beat that? Yeah. How can you beat a backflip on a half pipe? Like that's fucking insane. Yeah. And you go backwards on the way down, like Jesus Christ.
I haven't done any stuff at parks yet. So
No, but like I just remember because I grew up at a skate park and when I came here, I lived on Lincoln Road. It's that big ass like Henderson, and I would just I'd just take a shitty bike and just fuck around. But I remember one time I saw this rollerblading guy, and it was like you don't at that park it was a lot of BMX guys and a lot of skaters, but no rollerbladers. And this one guy comes in and just starts fucking doing like backflips on half pipes, rolling backwards, like front flips on the other side, rolling forward, and I'm like Jesus Christ, like it just stuck in my head, yeah. And then you see those like long rails where they do those grinds, but they go like for ages. You're like, those are fuck, sick. Man.
You just reminded me as well, like in terms of the creativity stuff, talking about how like it's the same in grappling with like you're trying to find different things. A lot of stuff I've tried, I find that the creative process is almost identical and just the elements that you're clipping together are different.
Yeah.
So like I recently started playing like Kaizo Mario, which I don't know if you've heard of it, but like, Mario Maker, where it's like people make these really hard like Mario levels where you're doing these insane tricks and you have to chain them all together.
Yeah.
I've like been making levels for those.
Okay.
And it's the exact same process. It's like, okay, here you have a thing that you have to throw into the switch and then, okay, now how do I force this trick after that? And it's like the exact same process.
So you basically have to like only allow one option.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the general style of that type of level design. But like, it's interesting because it's kind of like making a move for someone else to do.
Yeah.
And designing purely for that, which is kind of a unique challenge. But like inherently, it's the same process. You're just swapping out the packets or grips with different tricks or different moves in whatever you're doing, or like different grips in grappling or whatever. Yeah,
I guess the only difference in grappling is that like it's sort of like if you were to do a cut, but there's another person resisting you.
Right.
And so you're trying to like figure out, like I try to do like a hot shot cut or whatever this fucking thing's called. Right. And then I get blocked and I'm like, fuck, okay, I have to go the other way now.
Yeah.
And then like I have to figure out a way to go the other way and also have a response for if they block me on that side. And now it's like, okay, thank fuck magic and cardistry doesn't work that way because I'd be struggling. But yeah, I'm sure you'd have some ways to like switch it up. But yeah, so how long? When was the convention?
June, July.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And how many days? 3 days? Is that like a standard? Yeah, nice. Did you get any videos like up on for the convention?
I did.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you want to see it?
Yeah, well, I'm keen to watch it. I don't think I've seen it. I've been like so AFK from the cardistry, even since the something magic. Like I've just been so focused on magic. I've not. Judo flip's the only fucking move that I've managed to slightly even learn.
Getting ads for Uber Eats.
Where do you have it posted? Do you have a YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Nice. Make sure to plug that. All right, let's see this shit.
That's me.
The guy himself. Is this in New Zealand?
No, this was filmed in San Diego.
Ah, okay. God damn, dude. What the fuck was that?
That was the one I was
You
telling
magic,
you about. Yeah.
magic man. Fucking hell. It's like a flower blossoming. Is there still a space for table cardistry?
Oh, 100%.
XCM or whatever the fuck? Is that still called that?
Table moves have actually made a pretty big recurrence recently.
Really?
Actually.
Is that what I need to start getting into?
Maybe.
I mean, I got a table. That's the one you were talking about. Holy shit. That's dope, dude.
Thanks very much.
Woo! Oh. That's my fucking feeling every time I watch your shit, eh? I'm just like my hands hurt from watching that, you know?
Dude, the spring move.
Mm.
I don't have a name for it, but took us like I think 2 hours or like an hour and a half to 2 hours to get the first shot,
Mm-hmm.
and then we filmed for like another 5 hours trying to get a second shot in slow-mo, and we didn't get it. And then the next day we will film for like another hour and a half and got it. I was like sick. But for the rest of the convention, I like couldn't spring because my hands were like so sore from doing like spring after
do you
spring
get,
after spring for like
thumb soreness
6
in
hours.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah, the RSI. I used to get that back when, I feel like when I was younger, I didn't have the hand strength. So I couldn't do things like pinky counts.
Right.
Yeah, there was certain moves, like even the spring, it took a while for me to get the hand strength to like feel comfortable doing it.
Right, yeah.
I wonder if I'm less at risk now because of grappling, because my hand strength has been like, it's insane nowadays compared to where it was.
Sick.
Because you're always grabbing gi and holding and squeezing and yeah. So I wonder if that like actually helped against getting those sort of injuries. But then again, I don't spring for 6 hours a day nowadays, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. I feel like I still get like carpal tunnel sort of type shit from like keyboard and mouse. That's worse for me now than like I just start getting sore wrists and
I
oh
get
god.
the same. I've never had it. I usually don't get any like cardistry related injuries. But occasionally, if I'm like practicing one thing, like over and over and over for like multiple hours, and you start feeling it a little bit.
I mean, it's still like, I'm pretty sure Shin Lim, he like had carpal tunnel from playing piano.
Piano though, right? And then he switched to
switched to magic apparently, which is just a knock in the face to all the cardistry magicians. Like, oh yeah, piano is not like, we're not even on the same level. Piano is way harder than cardistry and magic. I guess it's different though, right? And Shin doesn't do crazy packet cuts or anything like that.
Yeah, I think his cardistry is mostly pretty basic, like stuff, like
flowy stuff,
consistent stuff, like we were talking about, stuff that you can hit every time.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Which is useful.
Yeah. How many of the guys do you think fall into the category that have like consistent stuff? Is it like a small percentage, or is it?
I would say less than 5%.
Wow.
I mean, everyone has consistent stuff that they can do, but no one really focuses on it except like people generally. And
those are probably the guys that do like live performances of cardistry, right? Like I saw Zach Mueller do a gig and he was just doing cardistry.
Yeah, that was a little while ago, I think, but yeah.
Yeah, like years ago. Sick. I just remember him. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't realize you could just walk around cardistry. Like the fuck is that? He's like, this is one-handed cut. This is and
springs and shit. Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, I've done like little routines like that, but not like a full set. You know, it'll just be like, or it'll be like, this is how you shuffle like this. This is how you shuffle like this. And then it's like still false every time. Now let me ask you something. If you had one move that you think every magician should know in cardistry that is actually transferable, and meanwhile I will unbox this deck of cards while you're doing that. Nice. Because orbits, I've never handled them, and I've seen some cool shit.
The self-centered answer is this thing because I made it and it looks sick.
It's fucking dope.
So yeah, and you can actually do that as like a trick, which is cool.
Yeah. What's it called?
I don't know. It's I feel bad saying it's mine because it's literally just Elliot's lengthways deck flip by Elliot Slevin.
Yeah.
Turn sideways and you just shoot it over into the other hand.
Right.
So I can barely call it mine, but like I've basically done it enough now that I can claim it and everyone knows it as my little muscle, you know.
Right. It's like your little
So
flair.
I'm basically calling it just like the card muscle pass.
Yeah.
Packet muscle pass or whatever. But yeah, it's basically just like a modified deck flip that you just shoot back and forth into the other hand.
Nice.
But other than that, like for magicians, just like some one-handed cuts. Like getting really good at one-handed cuts. Trigger is a really fun one that looks really nice.
Okay, walk me through it. Walk me through it real quick.
I probably won't be able to do it as well as some of the other tutorials, but you grab here like this.
Wait, so what you do the first part?
Okay, so first part is you need to get the packet sideways like
so you
this.
Do this?
So I do a chevalier and then kind of push diagonally with the thumb so it goes down like that.
Okay, that part's going to take some work.
Right, to there.
Like this?
Yep.
And then you grab here.
And then you grab here.
Yeah.
Lift up. And then these fingers push this up. So this is where you need to know this pocket thing because you're going to do it here. And it goes behind and then this
the reversal.
Goes in.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to take me some time. I'll tell you that. When you
get this down, this is like the comfiest like one-handed thing ever.
Okay, cool.
So nice
I'm going to rewatch this and get this one down. This is going to be my project.
Sick.
That and the memory decks.
Yeah.
Next time we talk, we'll be fucking quizzing each other.
5 of spades. Where is it?
The 32nd.
Yeah.
You won't be able to tell me I'm wrong.
I can't tell you you're wrong. That is correct. That is where the 5 of spades is in mnemonic.
Yeah, 100%.
And every other stack, actually.
That's true.
They all have the 5 of spades at 37 or whatever you said.
Yep. That's the one. Dude, this deck is fucking sick. It's the first time I've handled orbits.
Yeah, they're fun.
Fucking fun. Instantly, I thought before I saw this, the color scheme was like Mars. Instantly reminded me of Mars.
Oh, you have a little Mars board game?
Forming Mars game.
Hell
same
yeah.
color
It's
scheme.
literally the same colors. That's sick.
So that's what, and then I saw this and I was like, oh shit, it is actually supposed to be that. What's going on with the card scene nowadays? Like, there's so many cards coming out. I don't even know what's like the deal.
I've given up.
Yep. Okay.
everyone's making decks. It's slowed down a little bit recently.
Over the
the
COVID.
Well, it picked up during COVID actually, but then
Really?
there was some like, it's it comes and goes.
Yeah.
These came out recently. These are hilarious. I love these. They've got
What are they?
fish like this, and so you hold the cards together like that, and it makes a fish, and then it also has it on the back. That's so sick. That's so great.
What are they called?
They're called.
This is not USPC, right?
They are. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're called What the Fish playing cards. Yeah.
That is. I don't even know how you'd use this.
They're so silly, and then like the faces are almost completely covered by the fish, but they're just so fun. And like for cardistry,
Yeah.
it's great because you can do like, if you do like that, then it lines up, and then you have the that kind of fishy thing. But like, other than that, it's just like a weird deck of cards that's funny. But like using this for Magic, I mean, you could do it, but it's a little weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of weird decks coming out recently. A lot of really like artsy stuff people are doing. A lot of foil and holographic.
Yeah, this is a cool one that I
random
picked up.
stuff.
I have yet to pick up the lights for it, so these supposed to be like glow with UV.
Oh, sick! Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Fontaine put out some UV.
Oh, really?
Cards.
I just saw this. I don't even know where I saw
Years ago
these,
now.
and I was like, okay, well, I need to get a UV light and do some cool like video with the
Be
cards
sick.
being like glowing up and shit, and the front's kind of.
Oh, those are fun. They're like all aces.
What do you mean?
Like all the faces are just.
Oh
like
yeah,
the single pip.
Yeah. And there's no, I kind of like that as well. But yeah, so apart from these, I don't have any, because once you start gigging, man, and people ruin your decks, you're just like,
Start
give me the
burning through them.
cheapest shit. Give
Yeah.
me bicycle seconds. I don't give a fuck. Like,
Morris found a guy that sells something for really cheap, so you can ask him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Morris got the connects. I need to I actually
He'll
like
hook you
once I
up.
pay my fucking tax, I need to fill up a couple of those cubicles completely with decks. Like just fill them to the brim. Probably just like bicycles and bees.
Yeah.
Just keep
Bees
it
are great.
simple.
Bees are underrated.
Yeah. Just for like
I
demos
don't know.
and
I
shit.
still don't really like the design for like standard bikes, but they work and they're cheap. So like,
I've actually,
complain.
when I first got into cards, I actually really liked the design. So, I mean, I've seen it so much now that it doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
But like, initially, my first impression was like, they're cool.
I like the tally ho
Ah, yeah.
a little more.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just because they use more in like cardistry stuff. So they're
Yeah.
a little bit cooler.
The old school Den and Dave videos.
Yeah.
Have you handled Jerry's Nuggets?
A really old one once.
Ah, okay. What's the hype with those, dude? They're like fucking, how much are they? They're like probably what?
$500
$500 each?
nowadays.
Yeah.
There was a guy at Cardistry Con who brought in, just to kind of show it off, a sealed gross in the original like shipping packaging to the Jerry's Casino,
Shit.
a gross of Jerry's.
So like what? Like how many?
144. Pretty sure.
What the fuck?
In a cardboard box with like the like shipping bands on it and like all that stuff.
Was it
And
like in a
just there?
case or?
No, it was just there. He just had it. Everyone's like, you can come and have a look at it and just don't touch it. It's like, that's sick. It's like, what a flex. Crazy.
What the fuck?
Crazy.
Jesus
We were
Christ.
like, yeah. We like did the math on it and it was like some ridiculous number if you were like to open it and sell
Yeah.
them all individually.
What? 30 grand?
Oh, like 50 at least.
50. Wow.
Like, you do the math. But like, because it's still sealed and it's like a full enclosed thing, it's like priceless. So like, you
yeah.
wouldn't do that. It'd be stupid to do that. But
Well, I mean, if you want 50 grand, you might do that.
right. Or you sell it for 100 grand to like a card museum or something.
True,
and it can be
true.
like, here's the thing.
I just don't know, like, was the hype warranted or was it just because there weren't good quality cards back then?
No, they were. I think they were just, the reason they're so expensive is because there was, what was it? It was, they used either an ink or a glue or something in the production of the cards that they are no longer allowed to use now
Okay.
because of something that was in it or because they don't have access to it anymore. They were left in like a specific warehouse for a certain period of time that did something to the stock because of the humidity. So like they feel very unique, and the design is cool, and because everyone likes them. So
right. I
don't
thought
really know.
My understanding of why they were popular was like this whole idea that they get better over time. Like as you handle them.
That's just any deck if you know how to break cards in. And
Well, yeah, but as in like the idea was like
Right, yeah.
post breaking it in,
right,
it like by handling it doesn't decay as much
right.
as
So
other
they're long
cards.
lasting, or yeah.
Right.
I don't
whatever.
know. I haven't used them that much.
There was a Lee Asher deck. Have you ever used the what are they called? I think it starts with an F as well. Fuck, I wish I knew the. Can you look up
Frontiers or
Frontiers?
Fournier or
Fournier, that's the
Was
one.
it Fournier?
Fournier, yeah. Have you used those before?
Don't think so.
Okay, so his whole like marketing scheme on that was like, no, I'm not like I don't hate Lee Asher.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's a cool guy, and I have nothing against him, but I feel like it was a bit of a marketing shtick.
Yeah.
Of like these are kind of like, you know, made to be the same as the Jerry's Nuggets in the sense that they get better with use and blah 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 blah. And like you can even wash your individual cards. And he has this video where he like puts a card in water and then like wipes it clean and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, so basically they were just like very like plastic coated smooth finish.
Right.
Like so no air pockets.
Which is not what Jerry's are.
Yeah, no. And they were done with a different company, which I don't remember. So the stock felt a bit thicker. It took forever to break in. Like
Sounds like Legends.
for
Legends Playing Cards
fucking
Company.
ever. And I just never enjoyed the thickness. I was like, bro, these are thick as fuck. They don't spread very well because they have no air pockets. Like they can pressure fan because, you know, most cards can.
Yeah.
And they will last. Like if I was playing card games, like these are great. But like I didn't see the point. And they were like $12 a deck or something. Like it was very expensive.
Cards are cards.
Yep.
Just get whatever you can get your hands on, and it works. Especially here because you can't even buy like bikes. I mean, there are a few places they sell bikes in store nowadays, right?
Like Vagabond.
Vagabond and a few other places I've seen some like.
And they even sell some like Theory 11 shit. I've seen.
But yeah, take what you can get and make it work.
Yeah, nowadays cards are like, you don't even have to get USPC anymore.
Yeah.
Like there's some good, EDC? Is that who produces it?
Yeah.
There's a couple producers now that like I've handled some cards. I'm like, oh shit, like these are, I would use these. Like, yeah.
Even the NPC ones, which is make playing cards, and you can just buy, you can do runs of like one deck.
Oh, really?
For like $20-$30.
Yo.
So like if you want a custom deck, you go there and you just like send them to design. They'll just send you like one deck with your design on it, and they handle pretty good. Like they used to be awful, and now they're like usable. Like it's definitely different to this, but
yeah, but I think it's pretty doable. Like making a deck, a run of a deck. Like I remember when I was 13 or whatever, trying to figure out how much it would cost to make like a small run on USPC. And I think the smallest run they would do was like 5,000 decks at the time. So you'd have to order 5,000. But even that, like if you're ordering at factory price, that's probably like $2-3 a deck.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're doing. Yeah. So it's, you know, $15K. Like doable. Like it's not like impossible to
not out of the question.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
You need to be making sure that you're wholesaling them and selling to people. And you're actually selling stock. Yeah,
for sure. And then dealing with the stock is a fucking mission. Yeah. But
I think most people nowadays, they just go, okay, send the cards to out of play.
Yeah.
And then they'll handle it.
Yeah.
And like pay them a cut, and then you're good.
Yeah. Yeah, Dan and Dave like really set themselves up for that, to be honest. Like they don't even have to do much. Like they just became the face of like cardistry.
Yeah.
Do playing cards.
Yeah.
What more do you need? And they sell cool shit. They really did it right, I reckon. Because they could have tried to keep being like the pioneers, but how long can you be a like, you know what I mean? Like you can't be at the cutting edge of an art form for like like, you know what I mean? Like even in chess or something, like you can only be the world champion for so long.
Yeah, exactly. Eventually someone's gonna
so
get better.
It's like, okay, leave the innovation to these other kids that are crazy as fucking practicing as much as we used to, and we'll just do our own our business side. Like it's pretty smart. Pretty smart.
Yeah. We do one more trick and then finish up.
Let's do it.
All right, I can go first if you.
Yeah, you go first. You go first. I'll think.
Are those shuffled?
Yeah, sure.
Nice. Can you put them on the table, cut about half or so, and then remember the card?
This one?
Or the other one if you want, up to you.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it? Oh.
Yep.
I didn't see it, but it doesn't matter even if I did. Yep, put those back, square them up. Cool. I want you to deal down 5 piles of cards of even amounts.
Okay. So just the whole deck?
Yep, the whole thing. Might take a while, but
that's fine. I might not have all the cards here. Is that a problem?
That should be fine.
Okay.
Great. Now I want you to pick, turn each pile over and spread through it and just find the one that has your card in it, and we're only going to use that pile.
All right. Yep, this one.
This one? All right, you can get rid of the other ones.
Can I put them together?
Yeah, yep. And now I want you to take that pile and turn it. Actually, yeah, just hold it in your hand. And then I want you to deal down, turn the cards face up, deal down your name. E, D, and just go all the way through.
E.
Face up.
Oh, yep. E, D, U, A, R, D. That's great. All right. So this is, I'll show you this one. And we have this deck of playing cards right here. Give that a nice shuffle. So, the difference between magic and mentalism, right, is that a magician would have you pick a card out, right? You would then take it out, you would look at it, replace it in the pack, and now I have some sort of physical control over where the card is in the deck, and then I could manipulate it wherever I wanted, and that's that. Now a mentalist would just have you have you see cards and just think of one. Okay. So I'm gonna show you a few cards. You just have to think of one.
Okay.
Okay. And yeah, just you got one?
I do.
Yeah, cool. Just repeat it in your mind over and over. Just keep repeating it. Okay, I reckon about there. Okay. For the first time, so that's me just locking in my prediction. For the first time, what was the card that you're thinking of?
6 of hearts.
6 of hearts. Now, I'm no funny business, right? S, I, X, O, F, H, E, A, R, T, S. You said 6 of hearts, right?
That's great.
That's the 6 of hearts. But yeah, no, that was fun, man. Thanks for coming. Thanks for jamming out. I appreciate the cards, dude. That's
yeah, of course.
I'm gonna be doing some cool shit with these. I never treat myself to fun cards, so this is exciting for me. Thanks for coming. Now, where can people find you?
Instagram @SpratCards. That's pretty much it.
No YouTube?
I have YouTube, but I don't post.
Okay.
If I post anything on there, you'll see it on my Instagram as well. So
sweet.
That's all you need.
We'll put that in the description. Samuel Pratt, thanks for coming. This has been a podcast. We out.
See ya.